Alrighty.
Yes, he's a comedian in my life.
Yep, oh, big old joke.
You are not a joke.
Alrighty, guys, what's going on? Got some more videos for you. Got Tove in the background for comedic relief. We have a new angle of the same video of the ICE agent that shot the lady that tried to run him over. So let's, without further ado, let's get into it.
Yay!
Oops. It would help if I actually share the screen.
Up?
Yeah, there we go. I'm new. Leave me alone.
I wish
there we go.
I wish there was a way that I could like enlarge the screen because I'm on my phone.
Are you on your phone on the vertical?
You can do it vertical?
Yeah, I'm on a vertical and a horizontal. Oh, but you're on the back. You're on the backstage. Never mind.
Yeah.
The vehicle is
lower right.
there.
And it happens so fast that it's hard to see what takes place.
He fucking
plowed for some reason with my Wi-Fi.
But that is the front angle, and then we have also obtained some video from behind where it happens. But that is the vehicle that belongs to the woman who was killed today. And as Randy said, there were 3 agents in particular surrounding the car. It's unclear why she was parked at an angle in the street.
Is it really unclear as to why she was parked at an angle? Like, come on.
It's very clear. At least to me.
I mean,
or what was happening in the street at that time. We do know that as they approached her vehicle, one agent told her to get out of the car, and then we see the car start to move, and then we hear the shots.
So that video just
at its very basic, without any more analysis or breakdown, a police officer told somebody who was illegally parked to get out of their vehicle. That is now a traffic stop. She fled a traffic stop, which is a felony.
Yep.
So is the one that President Trump also viewed this afternoon as well. And post watching that video, the president did put out a statement. I believe we have that for you.
Yep.
And it reads like this: I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming, who was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car.
Oh yeah. Have you heard the video of the woman screaming?
Yeah, I did, and you can hear
What did you do? What did you do? You're criminals.
Car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer, who seems to have shot her in self-defense. We will say from our observations, the officer does not appear to have been on the pavement. He was in front of that bumper at the time, but we never saw from any of our...
Yeah, that was so when I first watched the video, it looked like he was farther away from the car than he actually was. When I saw like the entire video, like horizontally instead of just like cell phone,
yeah,
he was on top. He had been lifted off the ground and was on the bumper of the car when he shot.
I was actually there. Yeah, with your first live earlier that I was replaying. I was, when you paused it, I was at a stop sign, so I was able to actually take a look at that, and you can actually actively see his feet. Yeah.
And that's what I was wondering. I was like, how far away from the vehicle was he? Because when I was going over the use of force, I was like, you have to, if you can, jump out of the way. So that's why I was like, well, you know, he might be in a little bit of trouble right there because he didn't jump out of the way. Irregardless. Yeah, it depends.
That really depends.
But he wasn't on the ground. He was lifted off the ground.
So I had a really great discussion with an officer about this a few years ago. Because I kind of witnessed an attempt at a flee, and afterwards he ended up coming into the same gas station I was in. So and I asked him about it. I said, what is because he had actually had enough room that he could jump out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, what is there like a specified distance, or do you have to do that every time? Or is there a point where it's not an option? And he said if the reason why they try to take a step back when they are, after they ask for questions, why they want the window down quite a bit, is so that they need to have at least try and keep 2 feet between themselves and the vehicle.
Yep.
It's not like a written doctrine. It's more of one of those
officer safety
learned
thing.
rules. Yes. Just
So
like the whole hand on the...
I can show you this. This is from the Department of Justice. Use of deadly force and prohibited restraint techniques is their training. It's 1-16.200 in whatever this manual is. And it lays it out very, very clearly. It puts this entire argument to bed. It says law enforcement and correctional officers of the Department of Justice may use deadly force only when necessary. That is, when the officer has reasonable belief that the subject of such force poses an imminent danger of death or serious physical injury to the officer or to another person. Now, mind you, go and watch that video again. She backs up. There's someone standing behind her car. So she is now recklessly endangered that person. That the officer that shot her did not see this. So, that's not that doesn't go to his favor. But he's standing in front of her and he's walking around the car, around the hood of the car, and she takes off. People were saying, "Oh, she turned to avoid him." No, she didn't. She turned her car simply so she didn't hit the curb when she wanted to angle herself out so she can pull out and run away. But he was in front of her. So now let's read through it. Deadly force may not be used solely to prevent the escape of a fleeing suspect. So that means you can't shoot somebody in the back. You can't shoot into a car that's running away from behind. And you can't just shoot a vehicle just because you want them to stop. You can't do that.
Not like they show on TV.
Exactly. Firearms may not be discharged solely to disable moving vehicles. Specifically, firearms may not be discharged at a moving vehicle unless, 1, the person in the vehicle is threatening the officer or another person with deadly force by means other than the vehicle. Okay? So that says that if you're just going to run them over and you don't have a gun, you can't shoot them unless the vehicle is operated in a manner that threatens to cause death or serious physical injury to the officer or to others, and no other objectively reasonable means of defense appear to exist. Now, that's a whole lot of words to say. You can't just shoot them because they're going to drive towards you. You either have to have them pointing a gun at you, or you cannot get out of the situation. In this situation, there are, mind you, this happened in 5 seconds, not the time it's taking us to break it down, but it was lifted off the ground. And mind you, this same officer has been drugged already. About 7 months ago in June, he was drugged down the street by another car in Minneapolis. Ooh. So this is already in the back of his head. So we have to kind of enter the realm of the police officer's head when we criticize, right?
Yeah, and that might not be in his. It may or may not be in his favor, depending on if he got the appropriate help to handle something like that psychologically.
Well, here's the thing. It's irrelevant. He was determined to be fine, right? Because he's still working.
This is true.
So that's an irrelevant point. But just think, you've been through this situation before, and it did not end well for you. So with that in his head, he now has a fleeing vehicle that has lifted him up off the ground, and he knows where that can go. So when the vehicle is operated in a manner that threatens to cause death or serious injury to the officer or others, he firsthand objectively knows it's not a good thing to get drugged by a car because it's happened to him before. So you have to break down, what's going on in his mind. Did he just shoot her because he didn't want her to leave? That would be illegal. But no, it sounds like there's a situation where this has happened to him before, and
he knows the consequences.
He knows the consequences, and he doesn't want that to happen. And he's probably objectively in fear,
for himself and those
for
around.
his life.
Yeah.
And so no other objectively reasonable means of defense appear to exist. There is nothing else he can do. And it happened very quickly. He drew his gun. I don't know why he drew his gun, because she hadn't at that point she had backed up. He drew his gun after she backed up. And it didn't
And
it looks like he just didn't have enough time to get out of the way and shot her.
Yeah.
And luckily he didn't get run up and over when he shot her. Because that would have been very, very bad for him. And
yes.
But I mean, it's laid out. And then so you go to 18 USC 111, assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers or employees. To forcibly, in general, whoever forcibly assaults, resists, impedes, intimidates, or interferes with any person designated under section 111.4 of this title while engaged in or on account of performance duties of official duties, forcibly assaults, intimidates any person who formerly served, shall, where the acts in violation of this section constitute only simple assault, be fined. So this is going over what the consequences for doing the illegal actions are. And where are we at? And any amendments in here? Violation constitute one simple assault, be fined under this imprisonment. So yeah, they're intervening. Just her parking her vehicle there is enough to constitute as intervening in, or resisting or impeding.
Yeah.
Her leaving when he says, "Hey, get out of the car," that was a lawful order. She refused a lawful order. So now she has committed 2 crimes. She backs up with him still in the car. That's assaulting an officer. That right there is assaulting an officer with him, with his arms in the window, and she backs up and assaulted him.
That's actually, yes, that is considered assault. That happened. Anyway, that almost, my ex almost got charged with assault on an officer because we got pulled over and the officer was leaned into the car. We had a manual at the time, and he wasn't able to he didn't get it all the way up into park.
Yeah.
And we started rolling forward.
Yeah.
And we were in a very bad part of the city at the time. That's a whole nother situation I'm not even going to get into, but because of the neighborhood we were coming out of, we got pulled over, and he had already decided to wait until we got to a parking lot to pull over, and then did not get it into park. The officer leaned in and to grab a hold of him, afraid he was going to try and flee.
Yeah.
And since he didn't have it all the way, we started rolling forward, and the officer kind of walked with it, thankfully. Yeah. And I ended up jamming it into park, which probably wasn't the best thing for the car, but I don't drive stick. But I made sure it was stopped in park because I was the passenger and I didn't want to get arrested for something I didn't do.
Right.
But yeah, they were gonna hit him with assault on an officer. It didn't matter that he was an undercover. It didn't matter that none of that mattered. How fast we were going, that his feet weren't on the pedal. It didn't matter that his hands weren't on the steering wheel. It's the act.
So it's the act with the intent. So because he didn't get hit with that, it's probably understood that he didn't intend to do that. This lady intended. It's a Honda Pilot, doesn't come in a manual variation. She put that sucker in reverse while he was inside the car. And so subsection 6 of, what is it, 609.02 of Minnesota statutes. I'll share that for everybody. Dangerous weapons. Dangerous weapons means any firearm, whether loaded or unloaded, any device designed as a weapon and capable of producing death or great bodily harm, any combustible, flammable, liquid, or other blah, 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 manner intended to be used, calculated likely, there it is right there, or instrument that in the manner it is used or intended to be used is calculated or likely to produce death or great bodily harm, or any fire that is used to produce death or great bodily harm. So we have establishment of what a dangerous weapon is for the argument of this case. So instrument that is used in a manner to cause great bodily harm. Now let's go to authorized use of deadly force by peace officers. Where is it at? Use of deadly force, notwithstanding the provision. Use of force by a peace officer in the line of duty is justified only if an objectively reasonable officer would have, based on the totality of the circumstance known to the officer at the time, without the benefit of hindsight, that such force is necessary to protect the peace officer or another from death or great bodily harm. So again, she assaulted that officer, used the vehicle to assault him. Right there, just because she was pulling away, right, with the officer in the vehicle, he could have shot her then, because she's using a deadly weapon. We have the definition of a deadly weapon, an instrument used in a manner, right? That's the car. To protect the peace officer or another from death or great bodily harm, provided the threat can be articulated with specificity, is reasonably likely to occur absent action by law enforcement, and must be addressed through the use of deadly force without unreasonable delay. So here's how that works, right? When you use deadly force, you cannot fire warning shots, because firing a warning shot means that you had time to fire a warning shot.
Yep.
If you then go and fire a fatal shot, it means that you shot them just because, and you could have done you had time to do a warning shot, which means you had time to get out of the way or to stop the threat without using force. A peace officer shall not use deadly force against a person based on the danger that the person poses to self, and an objectively reasonable officer would believe based on the totality of the circumstances known. So you can't, if someone's threatening themselves with a gun, you can't shoot them. But everything in here is almost written for this situation, right? She used deadly force on a police officer and tried to use deadly force on another police officer, and the police officer that had his gun drawn and was up on the hood of her car shot her.
Yeah, and that's another thing, that these situations have happened before. You know, this is not a first time this happened. So, you know, it happens all over the country, at least once a day. Yeah, and we don't hear about it because it's not a big sensational story because of this where they're at.
Yep.
So you got to understand, this isn't a one-off situation, or they got to understand this is not a one-off situation. It's just like
there's precedent for this because it happens a lot.
Yeah, that's why they're written so
succinctly.
It's step-by-step guide basically on what to do.
Yep. And mind you, we're all playing Monday morning quarterback after the fact that happened. I'm going to show the video again, so anybody that's watching this, just know this is going to involve a shooting. But this whole video is 56 seconds long, and the shooting happens within the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So before we go out of frame, there's two people right here, behind the car. This officer drives around the vehicle. And I believe this is where the front officer comes from.
And I bet you the person that's recording this.
Belay that. This guy on the right of the frame, that is the police officer that shoots her.
Okay.
So he's walking. Go ahead.
I'm wondering, the person that's recording this, they're also the person, I believe, they're also the person that was screaming.
Yes. Yeah, it's the same person.
I'm wondering if these two weren't somehow connected.
Well, she says her name. She says her name.
Okay, then yep. All right, then they were connected. So she was there to make sure that this person, the lady in the vehicle, was able to cause issues for the officers.
Oh, she's agitating the situation. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yep. She's there to agitate it. Maybe not to get her hurt, but to get her and, make it look like they're going after her for no reason.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's watch it, though. So this officer right here, remember him, the bald guy.
Yep.
Or he's got like salt
the one
and pepper
with the
hair.
writing on the back.
Yep. And then it goes over. The guys that get out of this Tundra, gray beanie, or green beanie, or black beanie, sorry. No! And you see him right there. There he is.
Yep.
He's drawing his gun because she has backed up. Her wheels, if I can't zoom in at it because his foot is in the way, but her wheels are not straight, and he is still right there in front of the car. Yep. Not very far away from the car either.
Oh, shit! Yeah.
And he was up off the ground. For the split second that she hit him with her car.
Yeah, you can see that. It's very quick, but
and he is jumping out of the way. So he's using the reasonable fleeing
attempt.
And still gets hit and still shoots her through the front of her windshield. So when he fired the fatal blow, he was still in front of the car. You cannot shoot somebody, the windshield is about 4 feet ahead of you, if you're, sitting average seat back, and that line would mean that he had to have been in front of the car.
Yeah.
And the force in which she hits the next car, because you see right here, this is a different car. Watch what happens when she hits. And this will tell you how fast she's driving. Because this is only from here where she gets shot at to here is not that big of a distance. So how she gets up to this much speed shows how intentional she was with trying to run him over.
Yeah.
See that white car? Pushed all the way out into the intersection.
Now, one other thing, yes, she gunned it, but here's the other thing is when I have a feeling that as soon as she was shot, it was instant, she was gone. Your body relaxes heavily and you slump forward. So your foot, that weight, the weight of your legs, gonna go into that gas pedal and push it even further in. It doesn't relax and just the pedal can push your foot back up to slow things down. No, it's going to push it forward. Yes. Yeah. Dead weight is a lot heavier than living weight. I know it sounds weird, but
it's
especially if
you have no muscle fibers controlling your weight.
But exactly.
She
gunned it and then slumped.
Yeah, she gunned it and slumped. So that's how hard she was hitting the pedal to get up to that speed to total this car. This car is totaled right here. And the car in front of it is pushed into the intersection. Now, I understand there's some snow on the ground, so it might have slid a little bit further than normal. But that's a lot of damage. Like, I would consider that a major car accident.
Yeah. That almost looks like that looks like what happened when my first car, I got rear-ended. I was in a dead stop. Yeah. And it was slick roads, and she was doing over the 35 mile an hour speed limit. Yeah. And suddenly I hear brakes lock up behind me, and she hit me so hard that I got pushed 1.5 car lengths into the pickup truck in front of me.
Yeah.
And my hood was underneath his pickup truck, and then my trunk was up on her hood. And that was with me a car length, one and a half car lengths behind the pickup truck in front of me.
Yeah, so I'll give you some reference. I've been hit, not by a Honda Pilot, but it was a CRV that hit me, and I was at a stop sign, kind of like this car, and they were doing about 45 when they hit me, and did not even do that much damage to the back of my car, and pushed me out of the intersection. So the fact that she hit that hard shows that, you know, she was gunning it. So and without regard to the people that were around her, without regard for the officer that was literally hanging on to her, without regard for the person that was behind her. So she's recklessly endangering people with a deadly weapon and assaulting police officers with a deadly weapon. Deadly force in any one of those situations is authorized.
Yep. And honestly, no, taking out the taser and using that would not have worked. Not
You
just
can't
because
tase
the
somebody through their
windshield.
windshield.
Well, not even just that. If they were to tase her through the driver's side window, if the officer that had been in the window had tried tasing her and her muscles locked up, she would have gone right into one of the houses.
Yeah. And people are
she
saying, "Oh, she
right
turned
into
her
one
wheel.
of the houses."
She turned her wheel to avoid him." The only reason her wheel turned is because she probably still had her hand on the wheel, and when she went slump, that hand dropped and turned the wheel to the right. And that's why she didn't make a full turn, because she was deceased at that point. But she had no intention of putting anybody's safety before her own. She was going to run him over if that wasn't
she
done.
was going to get out of there one way or another.
And I mean, that on its face is illegal, right? You can't just run from law enforcement because you're a social justice warrior and the law doesn't apply to you. That's not how it works. But and then here is the video of what's going on after that happened. So they're already drumming up the anti-ICE war drum and trying to cause riots. So here we go.
They aren't even seeing them as officers anymore.
Going around social media showing what happened earlier today between protesting agents in a truck pulling up to a car that appears to be blocking the road. The two agents get out. They walk up to the driver's side of the car. From there, things escalate quickly. One agent touches the car, and the driver starts driving backwards with the agent's hand still on the car. The driver
you can see
then hits the gas while another agent appears to be standing in front of the vehicle. That agent, more in front of the car, appears to open fire as the car barrels towards him. DHS telling Fox News the officer who fired the shots had been dragged by a car last June in Minneapolis. We've since learned the driver of the car who was shot was a 37-year-old woman. She was killed.
My age.
President Trump has weighed in just the last 30 minutes. He wrote, "I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense. It is hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. The situation is being studied in its entirety. But the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis. They are just trying to do
over 16-fold the amount of violence against law enforcement officers, particularly ICE agents, is staggering. And this idea that you can just do whatever you want, consequence free. The reason this is happening is because we had 2020 with George Floyd. We had, all the Portland riots. We have had the Seattle riots. We have had the LA riots, and no consequences have happened for anybody. Maybe people will think twice now before you use your car as a battering ram. I don't have any sympathy for this lady.
I wouldn't say consequence free. I would more likely say consequences be damned.
Yeah.
And I do have one thing I want to ask you about with on the paramedic side, on the medical side. You look at that officer right after he gets off the vehicle, and you look at the way he's moving.
He
He's
got hit.
favoring his ribs.
Yes, he got hit by a car.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, people need to, you need to actually look at the movement of his body. He is actively grabbing on and trying to catch his breath so he can go check on her and see what's going and make sure that what the end of the altercation is.
Oh, yeah.
So if he hadn't been hit, he wouldn't have been grabbing himself that way.
So
and he's staggering.
Let's show everybody what you're talking about. So go back to it. Yeah, so part of that's him holstering his weapon, but he's literally limping.
Yeah. The way he's walking, you can see it, and that's not just kickback from a firearm. I promise you that.
Yeah, no, he's holstering when he's reaching down, he's holstering his weapon. But the walk that he has is he's nursing his right leg.
Okay, so so I missed the leg, but I got the, so it's still same concept. He's still nursing something, so you can still actively see in his gait that he's having to nurse something. He got hit. You can't tell me that
he went to the hospital.
Well, they'll still go to the hospital regardless after something like this. For shock, for
well, it's no. So they'll go to the hospital if they're injured. I mean, sometimes they'll just go to the hospital, but you notice how the reports are the officers are recovering from their injuries.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what's important there. It's not that they went to the hospital, because any Tom, Dick, and Harry can go to the hospital for any reason. They're recovering from their injuries. They would have been discharged already if they weren't injured.
Yeah. Because that's the other thing, is the officer that was in the window, he probably got hit with the side of the door frame when she gunned it.
Yeah.
And that's even a glancing blow from a gun gas is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
After the incident, just a few hours ago, we saw chaos already beginning between law enforcement and rioters on the streets of Minneapolis.
Check this out. This is hilarious. I'm sorry. Too much fucking around, not enough finding out. All on video. This guy, did you see that? Hold on.
Wait.
Watch this.
This dude looks like he's getting ready to be executed.
Boom! This guy right here, this guy from 2 feet away just fucking blasted him with a pepper ball. That's a lot bigger than a pepper ball, because that's a lot of...
That almost looks like a sandbag.
No, it's not a sandbag. It's a pepper ball because it's orange.
Yeah.
It's supposed to die. Hits.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it almost looks like from when, because I've shot a few sandbags before, and when it hits like that, they explodes, and it looks like that.
It's wild though. Like this guy, you'll see him pan back to him. His head is smoking.
He looks like he's got a halo around his head. Aww. He's been made the angels are flying around his head. Or is that Tweety Bird?
That's what it is.
Oh my god, it's still there.
Look at his head.
Kill someone else!
Oh my god.
And then this. I can't do anything but laugh at these idiots. Like it's absolutely abhorrent what they're doing to people, but like they're trying to intimidate them. They're trying to throw rocks at them, and the cops, they're just not taking it anymore.
No, they're not, and I don't blame them.
Spray, spray, spray. Spray. Move. Under the umbrella. If they're so afraid of these ICE officers and they're the modern day Gestapo and all that fun stuff, and none of that is just rhetoric and hyperbole, then why are they there? If they're really that scared of them, why are they there?
Yeah, that's Monty. He's from the Set podcast.
And then this lady right here gets just drugged to the side and just thrown on the ground. Yeet. And he just walks away.
My mom was just making fun of me for giggling like a 2-year-old talking to you. You really think an umbrella is going to protect you?
Get out of the way! Get out! Chris, get out the way! Get out the way of the truck!
Just spit on him.
Which is also assault.
I'm sorry, guys. The whole Nazi chant doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's done and over.
Tense in a city that not even 6 years ago was destroyed by political tension, by lawlessness, by agitators. And on that note, not long after that moment you saw on your screen, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey held a news conference where he basically begged for this to be 2026 George Floyd.
Yeah,
I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis. We do not want you
here. The city.
Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite.
No,
that's you guys.
Trust me, I have a lot to say about Mayor Jacob Frey and how he's handling what's happening in Minneapolis. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But just in the last few minutes, Democrat Minnesota Governor Tim Walz also found a podium.
I have a very simple message. We do not need any further help from the federal government. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough. There's nothing more important than Minnesotan safety. I've issued a warning order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard. We have soldiers in training and prepared to be deployed if necessary. I remind you, a warning order is a heads up for folks. And these National Guard troops are our National Guard troops.
No, they're not.
Exactly what is that supposed to mean, Tampon Tim? Are you threatening the United States with war? Because he's insinuating that the National Guard troops are going to stand against ICE.
And stand against the United States government, which they took an oath to protect, which by wanting to bring them in will literally start a civil war. Is that what? Oh, wait. Yes, that's what they want.
That is exactly what he wants, because he wants everybody to forget about the daycare fraud or in the Leering centers.
Well, he wants power. He wants power is what it comes down to.
He's not seeking re-election because he doesn't plan on there being a United States by the time he gets out of the office.
Exactly. He was almost our VP. Now, yes, he's dropping out of the race, big whoop, but now he is inciting and actively stating that he is either has trained or is trying to train the Minnesota National Guard to ignore the commander-in-chief and view him as the new commander-in-chief, which which puts them in danger, because the National Guard of one state is not going to be able to withstand the might of probably like even their neighbors' National Guard, plus ICE, plus the Marines that have been going around helping ICE. Because if he tries to deploy the National Guard against ICE, you can bet your bottom dollar the Marines that have been going around helping ICE, they're going to show up.
That's the Insurrection Act right there. If he is using military force against the United States, That is treason, is what that is.
And actually, I'm pretty sure it's still treason with the threat of attempting to use the National Guard against the.
It's not treason; it's sedition.
Okay,
which
so
is a form of treason, but it's its own thing.
yeah, which is what the seditious six are they're trying to argue is
National
not.
Guard troops in Minnesota, seemingly pitting them against the United States of America. First, though, I want to go to Fox News correspondent Mike Tobin, who's on the scene in Minneapolis. He's been there all afternoon, where there are a lot of protesters and law enforcement officials on the scene. What's happening right now, Mike?
Well, this is a crowd that is left over at the scene where the woman was shot there. We saw the crowd dissipate largely when law enforcement stood down. They took the friction point away, if you will, and a large crowd of protesters followed them marching north on the street here. There were some objects thrown at that time, but the situation is pretty calm right now. I'd say there are about 150 people hanging around the scene where that woman was shot. Now, incidentally, Secretary Kristi Noem has weighed in on this. She called the use of the vehicle domestic terrorism.
And we have that video right here.
Go lay down, monster.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. I want to start out the loss of life that we saw here in Minneapolis today. Any loss of life is a tragedy, and I think all of us can agree that in this situation it was preventable. I've spoken to the president today on the situation here on the ground. I also just got off the phone a little while ago with Governor Walz and spoke to him as well. I want to reiterate first with all of you the facts of what happened today. At 10:25 a.m. Central Time, Immigration and Customs Enforcement were carrying out lawful operations here in Minneapolis. Because of the adverse weather that Minneapolis has seen in recent snow, one of the vehicles became stuck and ensnared in the snow. Law enforcement were attempting to push out this vehicle, and when a mob of agitators that were harassing them all day began blocking them in, shouting at them, and impeding law enforcement operations. ICE officers and agents approached the vehicle of the individual in question, who was blocking the officers in with her vehicle, and she had been stalking and impeding their work all throughout the day. ICE agents repeatedly ordered her to get out of the car and to stop obstructing law enforcement, but she refused to obey their commands. She then proceeded to weaponize her vehicle, and she attempted to run a law enforcement officer over. This appears as an attempt to kill or to cause bodily harm to agents, an act of domestic terrorism. The ICE officer, fearing for his life and the other officers around him and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots. He used his training to save his own life and that of his colleagues. He was treated at a local hospital, has been released, and is now with family. I encourage the American people at this point in time to pray for him, but also to pray for the deceased's family and her loved ones. Today alone in this country, there have been 4 different domestic terrorist attacks on federal officers by the ramming of vehicles. 3 of them happened here in Minneapolis.
So it's now a pattern of people that think they're above the law trying to kill people.
So she actively had multiple opportunities throughout the day to leave them alone, but she waited until she was in a situation where it became an inevitability of life, that it could become life or death, and she chose death.
No, she didn't think they were going to do anything. That's the issue. These people are acting without impunity. And they don't think there's ever going to be any consequences to their actions. I don't think she intended to die that day. I think
I don't think she did either. But it came down to I wouldn't say she was intending to die, but she was attempting to create some kind of altercation after having the
ahead.
Yeah.
We've seen over 100 of these vehicle rammings happen in just recent weeks, and this must stop. ICE alone is facing a 1,300% increase in assaults against them and an 8,000% increase in death threats against all of them. In fact, the very same officer who was attacked today had previously been dragged by an anti-ICE rioter who had rammed him with a car and drug him back in June.
So he's not taking shit from anybody, as he shouldn't. It's already happened to him. It's consistently happening to him. And under the direction of Tim Walz and the mayor of this fucking city, they feel empowered and emboldened to do that to these people. And that's why it's happening, because nothing is happening to them.
He sustained injuries at that time as well. And let me remind you why we're all here in this city today and why we've been here. In communities across this country and here in Minneapolis, we're just enforcing the laws that we have in this country. For years under President Biden, tens of millions of dangerous criminal illegal aliens, terrorists, and suspected terrorists were allowed to invade our country over our southern border. They were allowed to steal, to defraud, and to perpetuate violence against American citizens. Regardless of who your mayor or who your governor is, President Trump promised every single American that he would make America safe again. He promised every single American that he would work to protect them from dangerous criminals. Since Governor Walz has been in charge of Minnesota, we have seen homicides go up by over 50%. That's also during Mayor Fry's tenure as well.
But have Mayor Fry tell you, oh, we're witnessing crime go down.
Well, since President Trump took office, Governor Walz has released over 470 violent criminals back onto the streets here in Minneapolis. He has another 680 of them still within his jurisdiction that he could give to us today to face the consequences for their crimes. Because Governor Walz and Mayor Fry refuse to protect Minnesotans, and instead they protect these criminals, that's why we are here. And we didn't just show up yesterday, we've always been here. But we're surging operations because of the dangerous situation we see in this country, and because we're no longer going to allow illegal criminals to damage and harm, to kill, to sexually abuse, to proliferate drugs, and to steal American taxpayers' dollars. This state has faced unprecedented immigration fraud. It's seen unprecedented benefit fraud. Individuals were allowed to come into this country and set up fake companies and fake nonprofits and divert billions of dollars away from American citizens and those vulnerable citizens who truly needed the services from those programs. This city has burned before, and your mayor and your governor let it happen. President Trump is not going to let that happen. He and our federal law enforcement officers are here to bring peace and to bring public safety and to ensure that criminal activity is stopped and that people who perpetuate it will face consequences. Since we have been here in recent weeks, we have arrested over 1,500 criminals off of the streets. Our law enforcement has arrested murderers, known and suspected terrorists, child pedophiles, and other brutal criminals that were protected here in this city. We should all work together to protect our citizens. We should all protect the men and the women and the families who live here in Minneapolis, who live in Minnesota, and live throughout this entire country. I want to thank you for being here, and I want to thank you for focusing on the important work that our federal officers do and make sure that we're focused on the priorities of this country, and that's making sure that we're keeping people safe. With that, I'll take any questions that you may have.
Secretary, Mayor Fry called the claims of self-defense BS. How do you respond to that?
I say that he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's very clear that this individual was harassing and impeding law enforcement operations. Our officer followed his training, did exactly what he's been taught to do in that situation.
As you can see, she is not bullshitting you, because right under use of deadly force and restraint techniques, the vehicle is operated in a manner that threatens to cause death or serious physical injury to the officer or others, and no other objectively reasonable means of defense appear to exist. Remember, this cop was just drugged 6 months ago, so he knows all about the fear of bodily harm from getting drugged by a car. I'm sure he didn't want that to happen again.
Yeah. Now, here's my other question. I wonder if they have footage of her previous, her stalking throughout the day.
No. That video, the person that took that video obviously is not going to post all that, because that goes against the narrative. But
exactly. I'm wondering if the officers have
like body cam or anything.
Body cam or dash cam, because if they release that, that's gonna work a lot in their favor, both with the public.
That's the flavor of the day, isn't it? Like, how many times have we seen it in Chicago and Minneapolis
True.
and LA, where these people are using their cars to ram agents without, without regard to their safety, and it's just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, and unfortunately, people don't see them as officers anymore. They see them as the enemy.
The officer was hit by the vehicle. She hit him. He went to the hospital.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I haven't seen this video yet. I literally just started looking for more information on this. I said it here first. He was picked up off the ground. You could see that in the video. If you go back to the other live and watch it back, I literally circle where his foot is off the ground. He got hit by the car.
A doctor did treat him. He has been released, but he's going to spend some time with his family.
Can you clarify whether these people were after the gunshots were fired?
I can't, but the FBI will continue the investigation and release more facts when it's appropriate.
Secretary, now, has the agent been relieved of his duty, or can you give us any other insight?
No, we're following the standard protocol procedures we do in situations like this. When there's an officer-involved shooting, we make sure that we get the facts and that we are getting the statements from everybody involved and make sure that investigators are handling the decisions.
Secretary, now have ICE operations paused because of what happened today?
No.
If she says yes, so help me God.
No, we're still out on the streets doing our work to get dangerous criminals off of the streets of Minneapolis.
Can you tell us the insight into your conversation with the governor?
Tim and I have known each other for years. We served in Congress together.
What?
We both ran for governor the same year and have served as governor at the same times. So we were colleagues and we discussed what happened here today. We have two very different viewpoints of it. I talked specifically about the fact that we have laws. They need to be enforced. He knows that I believe sanctuary policies have protected criminals and placed a priority of them over the citizens that live.
That's not a radical statement to make either. Sanctuary policies absolutely have allowed people to get away with this kind of stuff. And
it has.
Go ahead.
As I say, and it has put illegal immigrants that have no bearing on our country, put their needs, their wants, their whatever, everything above tax-paying, homegrown American citizens.
Well, not to mention the word sanctuary. Let's go back to grade school now, guys. Sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
The definition of sanctuary. A sanctuary is a place of refuge, safety, or protection. Historically, a holy place in a church or temple, but now also refers to a protected area of wildlife, a safe haven for vulnerable people, like in sanctuary cities, or a personal serene spot. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's the definition of sanctuary. What if you're not protecting criminals, who are you protecting? Because a sanctuary city is designed to protect those vulnerable people against what? Prosecution for their crimes.
Yep.
So the criminals are protected.
Here, and he knows we'll continue to do our work, and I encouraged him to work with us. We've never had a cooperative arrangement with law enforcement here.
And if you had, this lady would have been arrested by local police officers before this ever happened, and she would still be alive. So thank you, Governor Walz, for killing this lady.
We've done investigations, whenever police work, when we've been doing what we can to bring people to justice for the crimes that they commit, we haven't had the cooperation of the state of Minnesota or the city police here under the mayor's direction. If you talk to any of these federal law enforcement officers, they'll say that when they call for backup in a situation, that it's hit and miss. They were grateful today.
I believe that happened in Chicago. The last time somebody tried to run over a police officer, they were given a stand down order. We don't help ICE agents.
The police chief and local law enforcement showed up at the scene and helped secure it to make sure that nobody was harmed and that the FBI could do their work. But I would encourage them to work with us, that we could form a partnership that would make sure that individuals have the opportunity to have a safe Minneapolis.
And that's the thing, is if they actually worked with ICE, these things would not be happening. It would be a very easy, and the ones that are here that are actually, trying to do good and become citizens, they might not be here legally, they would have a better chance of being either being able to come back in or fighting for the opportunity. If they have to go in and they have to fight both the government and the people and get these people out of the country, that's it. They're I give a fuck's gone.
Yeah, I was gonna say my give a fuck for this situation is -5 right now. I do not care. I don't care how hard they have to push. I want these people out of the country. Period. End of story. There's no oh, but poor me. I don't care about the individual circumstance. If you broke the law, you should be out. Period.
Now here's my question. If the local governments and the people had worked together with ICE and everything was going along peacefully, we weren't having any of these attacks, any of these rammings, any of these issues, would your stance still be the same, or would you be a little bit more, okay, let's see if we can work with the people that are trying to become, or that want to become legal citizens?
I mean, if they weren't showing me their true colors, and by true colors I mean that literally by flying a Mexican flag, I might have a little bit of sympathy for them. But they have burned me out. I started this whole debate back in 2016 when Trump was first running, and I was like, well, maybe we shouldn't get rid of everybody, like there should be amnesty. The conversation used to be that we should build a wall and give them amnesty. And then the Democrats' position was, well, let's give them amnesty first and then never build the wall. That was the kind of bait and switch that's been done on the left since it happened the first time they all got amnesty. Let's not forget there was a round of amnesty and there was supposed to be a border wall built. The border wall never got built. So then you have Bush that comes around, Obama that comes around, Hillary Clinton's running for president, says the same thing, that they should pay a steep fine and maybe there might be a path to citizenship and we might be able to give them amnesty and all this fun shit, but they should be deported and we should build a wall. And it's funny how no one seems to remember that. But the second someone actually puts pen to paper and does it, suddenly all the Democrats are calling him a fascist Nazi dictator. It's almost like they never cared about that and wanted to prey on Americans so they can get more voters. They don't care about you, me, and the guy next to us. They want more voters, because if you can be the guy that made you able to vote, I'm going to vote for that guy. So
they were doing to them what they've been doing to conservatives for years with the pacification. Okay, well, if you vote for us, we'll still let you. For the longest time, conservatives, Republicans were like, okay, well, leave us, our land, our areas alone. And just keep it in the cities, keep it where you want to be. That's how they kept it. When they started speaking up, they would pacify them again. And, we know conservatives, you do not want them to actually do a riot or an insurrection, because you know what? The guns won't be left at home.
No.
But they were pacifying. Well, then they started doing it to the Democrats that were starting to come over to become more centrist and seeing that so they would pacify them with these promises. And then as they got into office, they would walk those promises back.
Oh, absolutely.
And as soon as Trump came in and did it, he wasn't going to walk it back. He's not a politician. He is a businessman. When he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. That's the difference. And that's why for the longest time, so many people.
Yeah, that's why everybody, people are very good at being politicians and giving things lip service, and it's people like you and me and everyday Americans that are like, I'm sick and tired of hearing lip service about how you're going to solve these problems that you never actually solve. Now, this is why no one solved it, because this is what it creates. It creates division, and people decide that they want to be social justice warriors, and then you have people that want to use it for political gain because the Democrats love they love it. So you have Go ahead.
I don't think it would have gotten this bad if it happened in the 90s when social media wasn't around and all these different influencers were around. I think it would have been a lot more peaceful, because then you'd only have the news stations, which back then there was a law against taking one side, against slander, taking one political side or the other. They had no choice but to report on the facts as they were and keep their personal ideology out of it. If you know, remember news from before Obama and then after Obama. Obama are two radical.
That law that you're talking about, he got rid of that law and made it so now every news outlet is an opinion piece. Like I am making a podcast right now talking to people, and it is very, very clear I'm giving my opinion. You go to the news and listen to the way they talk. If you actually listen to the way they talk and you know anything about human communication and human psychology, the way they phrase things, the way they anytime a conservative says something, like for example, Nick Shirley, conservative right-wing MAGA supporter Nick Shirley, he's an independent journalist.
They never would have done that. Yeah, they never would have done that before Obama.
And because now it's in how you frame it. They've successfully brainwashed several generations, and they've ostracized anybody that disagrees with them. They shoot people that disagree with them. They're violent towards those people. So now you have a large swath of the country that thinks that it's okay to have this kind of opinion about their neighbor, and so all they have to do is say, "Oh, he's a conservative," and that says everything you need to hear, right? Oh, they're evil, Nazi, fascist, whatever, and so you shouldn't listen to anything he says. That is how that has been framed now. So it doesn't matter what they say after it. So that's what I mean by human psychology and human communication. They're abusing that because they want to elicit that response. The news should not be something that's designed to elicit a response. The news should just be, this is the news. The news should not be about this, oh, I'm more extreme than you are, or whatever. But that's what it's become because of that law changing. And no one's going to know the difference now, because when that law was changed, the people that are doing all of this stuff now were all kids. I mean, I was a kid when the law was changed. So I do remember a time when even Fox News didn't have a spin on everything. It was regular, mild-mannered people with their opinions. They would bring on conservative commentators, but the conservative commentators weren't the hosts.
Nope. And they were actually asking insightful questions to get both sides of the argument.
60 Minutes used to be something everybody watched because they wanted to hear what the hot new scoop was on whatever was going on. But now it is sensationalism. It is how big of a draw can we get because our ratings are going to get better. And
there were multiple times that they would bring on both conservative and progressive experts at the same time and just have a short, either a short debate or a short discussion so that everybody got both sides of the facts and they could actually have discourse. And it never got in. Very rarely did it ever get into these shouting matches that we now see when they like on Piers's show.
Yeah.
Very rarely did we ever have shouting matches like that. Now it's a daily thing, or it's an every episode thing.
The slogan used to be we report, you decide.
Yes.
And that is, we have gone so far away from that on the left, the right, and everywhere, that it's almost like America is viewing politics like a sports team. And politics used to be boring. It was supposed to be boring. And
it was.
But now we have this. So
Stand behind the use of force, and will any of those use of force guidelines be altered or changed in the future?
It's clearly established law that a vehicle driven by a person and used to harm someone is a deadly weapon. Deadly force is perfectly lawful when a threat is faced by a weapon. So I do believe that this officer used his training in this situation, and we'll let the FBI continue the investigation to get it resolved.
Training and experience.
I know you keep asking that, but that doesn't mean that the FBI is going to give you an answer today. There will be an investigation. We want to make sure that it's factual. What I would ask is that as we go forward from here today, that we all remember.
We all saw the damn video. We all saw the video. And you're going to have people on the left, mark my words, you're going to have people on the left that are going to try to spin this and say and dig and try and put it out there. Jet, yeah, I'm with you on that one. I said that earlier. Jet said, when is it time for the interaction? We literally, before you got on, Jet, that's what we were talking about. Because Tim decided that he was going to train his National Guard and left it at that.
Heads up.
There are National Guard. I was like, oh, what does that mean, sir? Are you
are you threatening to put our National Guard against the National Guard? Like,
yeah, but
make that make sense.
So this is they're going. We all saw the video. Like that's all there is to it. We all saw the video, and there's no getting around that. So why are they trying to act like, oh, are we going to change policy? Like this shouldn't have happened. The result should have been she just gets to run over people and doesn't get shot for it. It's the officer's fault, or it's the training fault. No, this is what should happen. You assault a police officer, you get shot. Period. End of story. You try to run somebody over and run from the police, you get shot. Period. End of story. I'm so sick and tired of watching, because you know what the alternative is? That officer gets run over and gets killed. I'm sorry. I'm not willing to accept that anymore. I'm not willing to go and pay my lip service and put a shield on my Facebook page because another officer got shot because of people that have suffered no consequences for their actions their entire life, have felt emboldened, empowered, and have no respect for the rule of law and have no respect for authority. I'm tired of it. I don't care that she got shot. I'm glad she got shot. She should have been shot more times. If it was me, I would be in jail right now because I would have just unloaded on her. That officer showed incredible restraint.
Yeah. And actually, if you go and look at every single state, I'm pretty sure almost at least every state that I know of, when you assault an officer, not just killing an officer, or killing an officer is murder 1.
It's capital.
It's not just it's capital punishment.
Yeah. Assaulting
in fact,
a simple assault is a misdemeanor. Assault on a government official is a felony. And we
it's felony 1, I believe.
What we need is the treatment I got when I was 12 years old and I was acting like a brat. I got thrown up on the hood of a cop car, damn near got thrown through the windshield of the cop car because the cop threw me so hard because I was being a little shit and I needed the shit kicked out of me so that I could learn to respect authority. And that's what these people need. They haven't been punched in the face for acting like complete fucking morons, and it shows. They never got their ass whipped as a kid, and it shows.
Oh yeah, it was just like that one short I posted earlier today, that JD Delay had posted.
Yeah.
The girl, it was the equivalent, the female equivalent of finally getting punched in the mouth.
She's never. Yeah, she was like, "Excuse me,"
and he's like, "Excuse you, ho." It's like, yes. And you know who that was, right? That was Caleb Hammer, the audit guy. Yeah, he's now. They are going because they started going after him, calling him a conservative, Nazi. What have you?
He was talking to the governor of Michigan. I remember that. Yeah, oh my God. Caleb Hammer is the guy that tells you to get your finances in order. And
and he's centrist. He's conservative when it comes to finances.
He's not,
but
he's in finance.
Yeah.
And you're going to call him a Nazi? Anybody that disagrees with them, that's what I say. They're watering down the meaning of the word because they're using it as a dismissive tactic in arguments instead of any intellectual thought, because they have no intellectual thought, because their opinions are not based in reality or any tangible fact. So that's all they know. If you argue with a liberal, once you get past the first couple of arguments, you've argued with every liberal on the planet because they think like a hive. They have a hive mentality, and they don't know how to back up any of their facts with reason.
No, and honestly, I think I personally believe a lot of it has to do with how, our kids are being taught in school. Back when we were in school.
It absolutely does, Tove. It absolutely does. Even I saw the change from when I entered elementary school to when I got out of high school. That's when it changed.
I graduated in 2006, and I noticed a difference in my last 2 years of high school. It was very subtle at first, but I noticed they were starting to show, like in political, in social studies, or, whatever.
They stop talking about American history and start talking about the history of Argentina.
Not even just that, but even the shows or the news channels that we would watch for reference, we would see more of one news channel, or we would see more of one TV show that was one way or the other.
It was teaching kids how to form. It was teaching kids the opinions that they should have. It was teaching, like, not presenting facts, but presenting facts in a biased and skewed and slanted manner that a kid is not going to understand. They're just going to think, oh, this is a bad thing.
In fact, it was my high school years, that they were really pushing how great the Democrats were and how bad the Republicans were.
Oh yeah,
but it was not in those words. But they were always highlighting and justifying and glorifying. They completely. I did not know that the KKK was formed by the Democrats until after I left.
Yeah,
it was never discussed. It was never. But if you go back to books from before then, before we were in school, it was actively in those books.
Yeah. Joe Biden was with the grand wizard of the KKK. Like, Joe Biden voted against the Civil Rights Act and voted, or not against the Civil Rights Act, but voted for, what was it?
The desegregation. He voted against desegregation.
Desegregation and voted for the crime bill that has criminalized Black Americans more than white Americans. Like, and then they act like they're social justice warriors because they want to undo all this stuff when it's already been undone.
Yeah.
But
saying that they're fighting for equal rights. We've had that.
that our job is to have peaceful discussions. I'd encourage our local law enforcement and state law enforcement to work with us. We are going to continue to operate here in Minneapolis and in the state of Minnesota to make sure we're going after danger.
Let me give you the non-politically correct version of what she just said. Fucking do something about it. We don't care. We're gonna do it. And so what? That's what she wants to say. I'll say it for you, Christy.
Criminals.
Right.
One of the key focuses that we've had here is a focus on individuals who are sexual predators and are involved in child exploitation. When I was just here yesterday, we arrested individuals who were charged with criminal assault and sexual assault and people that exploited children. Why would you want to keep them on your streets? President Trump has
because he gives them more votes.
They want amnesty for them. What they're getting is not what they want. They want them to, quote unquote, pay a fine and become a citizen because that makes them voters.
Promise to go after the worst of the worst, and that's exactly what we're doing.
And they don't care about the American people. They love that there's controversy. They love that there's crime that they can point to and claim that they're going to solve. If there were no tragedies, the Democrats would have nothing to run on.
Well, not even just that.
They want to create turmoil and chaos so that they can blame it on Republicans and so that they can hold power. This has nothing to do with keeping anybody safe. This is 100% about them controlling power.
That, and also now we'd be ignoring the crimes that they're committing.
Oh, that too. That goes without saying, but
well, people don't.
With us,
we know that.
And Mayor Fry are putting those criminals and prioritizing them over our children and our grandchildren. And that's simply not true. He said that to me on the phone too, so I'll get him the documentation that he needs so that he knows that we would love to coordinate with him. He doesn't give us access to any information on criminals, let us know who he's detained, doesn't honor our detainers, and has individuals and criminals in his jurisdiction that he won't turn over us today too.
You mentioned that the officer involved today was once before raped by a vehicle. Can you explain the difference between that instance and today? Was a firearm discharged then? If not, what was the big difference?
I won't speak to that case right now, but we can get you the details and the information on that. But the facts of the matter is he's an experienced officer. He's been in situations like this before, and he certainly has been out there and followed his training today.
Given the threat of vehicle encounters, are you going to change the way
people need to stop using their vehicles as weapons.
Are you going to change
this domestic act of terrorism to use your vehicle to try to kill law enforcement officers is going to stop. And I'm asking the Department of Justice to prosecute it as domestic terrorism.
Good.
Because it's clear that it's being
good. Because that's what it is. You're using this is a political statement. This is a politicized issue. The definition of terrorism is using violence to achieve a political end. And I'm happy that she's doing that. If you commit violence in the act of a political cause, you used to be considered a terrorist. You are a terrorist if you do that.
Okay. We've been asking for this for years.
Yeah. If that's how they're going to go, I completely, without hesitation, support that. If you use violence in a protest, if you use violence against a law enforcement officer for political reasons, it should be the same way they make hate speech, or like if you use hate speech in the commission of a crime, that's a hate crime. If you commit a crime based off of race, based off of any protected status, that's a hate crime. If you use violence for political means, that should be an act of terrorism.
Yep.
They don't like it when they don't like it when the shoe's on the other foot, do they?
No, they don't. And we've actually been asking for this since the quote unquote summer of love.
Oh God. No, you're right.
We've been demanding for that for the people for a lot of the people that were part of that, including Tampon Tim, to be charged with domestic terrorism because he did nothing to stop it.
He encouraged it to happen.
Yes. I mean, shit, it's probably about the only way his wife actually. Never mind, we're on live. I'm not going to go there.
Coordinated. People are being trained and told how to use their vehicles to impede law enforcement operations and then to run over anybody who.
So now we have a domestic terrorist organization. If you're training people on how to use your Honda Pilot to stop ICE, yeah, gone.
Yeah, that's
straight to jail.
That's.
Do you agree? Like, am I?
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
No. I agree. That. In fact, oh my God, I can't even think of what the organization is called
Antifa?
at the moment. The other, the people that were protesting more recently, Antifa. Thank you. Yeah, Antifa. I don't know why they haven't been labeled, or have they?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Trump labeled them
Have
as
they been?
that whole argument. That whole argument that Antifa is an idea.
No,
was
it's
that Antifa
yeah, no.
has funding, is organized. That so.
Oh, it has been proven more than once.
You can use a word, an ideology, and say it's an idea, but when you run under a banner,
weaponize it.
No, it's not even about weaponizing it. Tove, if I say that I'm going to create the, I'm going to start a movement called Love, and I'm going to have people that subscribe and proclaim themselves as members of Love, and we instead of no, not a religion, but
I know I said like,
and I say, oh, our principles are this and this and this, and we go out and start raping people. That it doesn't mean love is an idea. Love is an idea. No, this is a group that has given themselves a name that is doing things.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what the idea is or what Antifa means in the dictionary. You're ascribing yourself. You're using words for warfare.
Gets in their way while they go out there and try to disrupt peace and public safety, and Americans deserve better.
So can you say why they were investing in the National Guard?
That hasn't been a part of the discussion. I know Governor Walz mentioned some of that earlier in his press conference, but we've got law enforcement officers here that will continue to work, and we're hopeful that the public recognizes that the work that we do every day makes America safe again.
You know what Tim Walz should be using his National Guard for? To keep the fucking rioters away from ICE. That's what he should be using the National Guard for. If Tim Walz can muster up the courage to grow a pair of balls, then maybe
they're around his wife's neck.
then maybe I might gain a little bit of respect for Tim Walz if he uses the National Guard to push back the rioters that are impeding federal process. But we know that's not what that was. That was a thinly veiled threat to the United States government. Get out, or we will force you out. And I promise you, we will fucking Maduro your ass.
Yeah, I've got an even better message for Tim Walz. Go to jail.
Right?
Stay away from our kids.
We had law enforcement officers that were out there doing an enforcement action, and a vehicle got stuck in the snow, and so they had called for other people to come and help them get that vehicle out. Those officers were trying to free.
And while they were trying to free the car, a bunch of fucking libtards that they were gonna impede.
I don't even like using the term liberal because they meant actual liberals.
Liberal means you're giving and loving, or you're excessive with whatever you do. Like that,
I mean, they are excessive, but that's about it.
Well, their freaking hair dye is about the only thing that's excessive on them.
It's true. They're shouting.
They don't. They shout, yell, and can't make any articulable points. But that's beyond the point. The meaning of liberal in the political context is supposed to mean loving, and you're liberal with chances. You're liberal with all of these things. They've completely gotten away from that. We can see that by the way they're acting.
We're out there impeding their vehicles and preventing them from leaving the scene.
Was it at a particular home or business in that intersection?
I won't speak to that.
Can you speak to the crime that person may be committed that you were going after? And you mentioned sexual crime. Okay. Will body camera footage be released?
I will let the FBI decide.
Were they on target today when they were in that neighborhood?
They were returning back to headquarters, I believe, to start a new operation, had just completed one.
Was it a nice?
Well, thank you. What's that?
Was it a nice vehicle that had?
I was one of the vehicles that ICE officers were using. But remember, when we operate in a task force model. So we have other federal agencies that work with us, and we're very grateful for that.
That's why the FBI was there in like 0.2 seconds, because the FBI was with them. They were going after a crime ring if the FBI was involved. Like it wasn't just normal HSI stuff. The FBI was there very quickly.
Yeah, I noticed that too. That they were on scene real quick.
Yeah, because all the videos of like the investigation and stuff had FBI vests on. They were probably in that task force. Now the people in that task force probably weren't the ones investigating, because that would present a conflict of interest, you know?
No, I heard something, and I don't know if it's true or not, because it was I'm not sure if and I'm still looking into it, but I heard that there was an elite Somali couple. Again, I don't know if this is true or not, and I'm still looking into it, but supposedly 450 children were rescued from an elite Somali couple in Minnesota somewhere. So I'm still looking into the validity of that statement. But if that's, and they were busted by the FBI, and it was within the last 2 to 4 days.
Well,
supposedly.
Let's change gears and go to something that might not be as fresh and provocative. Let's go watch and see how Delta Force went and kidnapped El Presidente.
I do have one more message for Tim Walz, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. I know. You're all ears.
Learn how to handle your pistol so your wife doesn't have to open the window just to get off, okay?
I'm gonna have to edit that out later.
Sorry. Well, I should say open windows to smell burning tires. Fucking
alrighty.
Man.
Here's a video by AI Telly. It's a nice little recreation of the operation to capture Maduro. It's pretty good. I saw Nico Ortiz respond to this.
How do you capture a high-value target when the whole world is watching? You create a masterclass in deception. The CIA set the stage with a single building as bait and filled the sky with 150 aircraft to create a deafening sonic shield for the helicopters to drop Delta forces. F-35s lit up the perimeter, turning night into day. By the time the dust settled, the helicopters had already touched down and Maduro was gone.
Are you telling me they used a bunch of F-35s to make a whole bunch of noise so they wouldn't hear the helicopters?
We use 1980s tech. Okay, we didn't even use current generation tech to take him.
F-35s are current gen. That's your 5th gen fighter.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We'll also look at how the U.S. uses the F-35 jets in its Navy to launch a large-scale attack, all in the video ahead. In the dead of night that is 2 in the morning, the lights went out in Caracas. By 5 a.m., the president of Venezuela was gone. But how U.S. played a deception game. While the whole world were focused on the aircraft carriers in the Caribbean, a shadow war was being fought on the ground. This wasn't an invasion, it was a surgical extraction. We finally have the declassified timeline of how U.S. forces breached the heart of Caracas and extracted Nicolas Maduro. Let's start with step 1. The setup. This didn't happen overnight. For months, the U.S. had been tightening a naval quarantine around Venezuela. The U.S. Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group and the U.S. Iwo Jima Amphibious Ready Group were parked off the coast. The pretext was clear. The U.S. designated the Venezuelan government a narco-terrorist state, specifically targeting the drugs lords, but while the Navy squeezed the coast, intelligence assets were tracking one man. They waited for a specific window, a moment where Maduro was stationary and vulnerable. Step 2, the strike. It began at exactly 2 in the morning Venezuelan Standard Time. High above, several F-35 stealth fighters punch a hole through the enemy lines, destabilizing their anti-air defenses. Like these Russian...
Bruh. They took out all of the AA like you were playing a carnival game.
300 missiles located all over the strategic high-value target. With the skies cleared, the path opens for Delta Force helicopters to fly straight towards the mission. Here comes...
And I'm gonna steal this from Nico Ortiz. Fast is smooth, and smooth is fast, and fast is fuck, boy.
The deception as the helicopters flew.
That's Delta Force for you.
Oh, yeah.
The jets started firing with more strikes as it hit Fort Tuna, the main military base and command center, and La Carlota Air Base, destabilizing Venezuelan air support. Reports from the ground described widespread explosions and a sudden communications blackout. The chaos wasn't the goal, it was the cover. But how did the raid happen? We have to look at step 3. Under the cover of darkness and chaos, the Tier 1 operators went to work. But what is the exact unit tasked with the mission? It is the Delta Force, one of the most elite secretive special forces units in the U.S. military. Witnesses in Caracas reported low-flying aircraft skimming the rooftops, flying well below radar coverage. The team breached a secure compound believed to be a safe house within the massive fort.
They landed on the ceiling or the roof.
Tuna
That
complex.
doesn't surprise me.
Resistance from the Venezuelan Presidential Guard was swift but ultimately futile. As the
useless. Maybe Cuba should look into some more training.
helicopters lay cover fire.
So
The operators moved with surgical speed.
Go ahead.
Fun fact, I live about 3 hours from Wright-Patterson Air Base.
Mm-hmm.
So our airspace, and we also have another, the Air National Guard, 30 minutes the other way.
Yeah.
So our airspace is used for testing for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So they have been practicing for this for a while.
Oh yeah.
Because they have been running not just out there, but they have been running test flights since May, and it just stopped at the beginning of December. Now, usually when they stop doing test runs here is when they're moving down to do test runs down or wherever they're going for a mission. And I've learned to clock that. But I also get to see a lot of the new generation stuff that's coming out for the Air Force.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I did not see anything that has recently been flying overhead in this mission. And I'm talking really, really new generation stuff.
Yeah, I mean so that goes to the point that I made earlier with Congress saying, "Oh, we were never informed."
Bullshit. They had to be.
They've been training this and rehearsing this 4 months now, and
if not longer.
No, 4 months, like not 4 months, but 4 months.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
And so Congress knew about this. They didn't know when it was going to happen, maybe, but the test run or the training and the flyover is really ramped up. Probably be at the start of October, I want to say. Mm-hmm.
That's when they really started ramping up, and they were pretty ramped up for about October to November. And we were getting if you sat outside long enough, you were seeing fighter jets almost practicing dogfights, and then coming together and almost playing chicken, and then sideswipe each other and doing. I mean, they were actively practicing what I would consider air show moves, but they're not just air show moves; they are actual combat moves.
Combat maneuvers, yeah.
And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It's beautiful to watch. It really is.
Unless you're El Presidente.
Yeah.
Landing on multiple points. But how exactly the capture and extraction happened? For this, let's look at step 4. Specialized helicopters hovered over the objective to insert the assault team. While dozens of attack helicopters laid down suppression fire, the Delta Special Forces descended and started the search for the high-value targets. How did they find him? Simple. The CIA had planted spy inside Nicolás Maduro close circle. While back in the US, Delta Force built an exact replica of his safe house, rehearsing the raid until they could do it blindfolded. While operating
intelligence and reconnaissance is what got this mission to go so smoothly. And I'm sorry. This was they need to rename this to Operation Yoink. 45 minutes with 15 minutes of it being actually on the ground. I think they had gone in and out in under 5 minutes. The whole operation itself took 3 hours, with the majority of it lasting 45 minutes. Like I said earlier, they got El Presidente faster than I could order Venezuelan food and have it delivered to me with DoorDash.
Exactly.
That's wild. Like,
honestly,
let's put the politics of it aside for a second. That really should make everybody feel proud to be an American.
Oh yeah.
Like there's no obviously this is a contentious thing and everybody wants to have their big dick moment, but this was freaking fantastic. And I know we've kind of gotten comfortable under Trump with seeing these superstar missions happen, whether it be the bombing of Iran and how flawlessly that went off, or all the missions he's run, or he hasn't run them, but he's allowed the military to do what they do best, and it shows.
Now he has helped a few of the generals that have worked with him in the past have come out and said that when they were planning things with him, they honestly could not believe that he never had any officer or military training, because they were all on the same wavelength. Now here's my other thing. I completely, this is what tells me when they try to say that the withdrawal from Afghanistan was Trump, the one that Biden did was the same as what Trump wanted, just from a different airport. Absolute bullshit. Because if they had followed Trump's actual plan to pull us out of Afghanistan, it would not have turned into what it did. It's proven by the last 2 missions.
It would have been a misdirection, and they would have just gotten out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how everything Trump does, or every mission I've noticed that Trump is overseeing, he gives the military the latitude to basically use all of their resources for whatever they want to use it for, and they just go off without a hitch. So you have a misdirection, and
he might make suggestions.
Yeah, but he gives them their latitude to do what they want to do, and it shows by this mission. But I'm going to keep going.
Breached the room so fast, his security could not even react to the situation, as the sound of flash grenades disoriented the security guard. Using blowtorch, they caught him before he could even lock all the doors.
They're so fast. My guy couldn't even click the door.
Maduro's shock and awe froze him as Delta Force reached the compound. Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, were physically secured.
They were yeeted into the helicopter.
This wasn't a negotiation. They were detained and immediately moved to the extraction point. These aircraft are capable of performing urban extractions from buildings and refueling in midair. Within minutes, they were airborne, leaving Venezuelan airspace and heading to a secure floating staging base in the Caribbean. This Operation Southern Spear has changed the geopolitical map of South America overnight. But wait, before after the extractions, there were reports of F-35 jets also leading the tip of the spear for the attack. We'll look how the United States used F-35 jets instead of F-16s for operations in Venezuela, because this is a well-organized and militarized Venezuela has positioned advanced Russian S-300 missile systems, Chinese radar networks, integrated Russian air defenses, and Shahed drones along its borders.
Yeah, we really embarrassed the shit out of them.
Hey, China, take note. Russia, take note. Iran, Whatever, however you say that in Arabic.
This creates a highly lethal and challenging environment that older S-16s would struggle to survive. As stated, around 150 aircrafts and a massive 8 U.S. destroyers were stationed there.
150 aircraft and 8 destroyers.
It also has 3 amphibious aircraft carrier and surveillance plane to turn it into a massive command and control juggernaut capable of overcoming a modern military's air defenses. Signals a readiness to counter Venezuela's entire air defense network if necessary. But why Venezuela Air Force failed to intercept? As of 2025, Venezuela's fighter jet fleet consists mainly of approximately 21 Sukhoi Su-30 multi-role fighters delivered by Russia between 2006 and 2008. Which now form the backbone of their combat air power. Additionally, they maintain about 5 operational F-16 Fighting Falcons from an older batch, including 3 single-seat S-16As and 2 two-seat S-16Ds. These S-16s are aging and suffer from limited maintenance and part support due to U.S. sanctions, although they have been supplemented with Israeli upgrades. Venezuela acquired its F-16 jets from the United States through a foreign military sales agreement called Peace Delta in May 1982, during a period of good diplomatic and military relations. They were the first Latin American country to receive the S-16, with deliveries occurring between 1983 and 1985. The reason the U.S. does not use F-16s in current operations is because these jets lack the stealth capabilities necessary to evade the S-300 and other integrated defenses. The advanced S-300V or Anti-2500 systems, supported by dense Chinese and Russian radar, can easily detect and target older aircraft at long ranges. Sending F-16s into such an environment would result in high attrition risks as they are vulnerable to radar detection and missile engagement. Not to forget the Russian Buk air defense system that can take out an S-16 with ease. These are cheap R-15 or 24 Buk systems are already active and mobile all over the country. Additionally, F-16s are less effective in contested airspace saturated with drones, especially the Iranian Shahed drones used by Venezuela for reconnaissance and kamikaze strikes. The F-35, however, offers crucial advantages. Its stealth design enables it to fly undetected or with much lower risk, making it effective against advanced surface-to-air missiles and networked radar systems. Its sensor fusion, electronic warfare, and data link capabilities allow it to simultaneously suppress and target mobile and fixed air defense positions, adapting rapidly to counter Russian and Chinese radar configurations. While the aircrafts took out the anti-air defenses Venezuelan military as a whole, this allowed the CIA and special forces to advance towards its target. The overwhelming presence of advanced Russian, Chinese, Iranian, and indigenous air defense and drone systems on the Venezuelan border means that the stealth fighter jets, or the first wave of attack, provide both the survivability and strike capability required for such operations. But how do they rotate clockwise? Well, the distance from Puerto Rico to Venezuela is about 1,300 kilometers. This is roughly 810 miles, which translates to around 1.5 hours of flight time for an F-35 flying at high subsonic speeds. These jets rotate.
Wait, does this mean that the F-35 is actually like running missions now and not just sitting as a lawn ornament?
Yeah, I believe so.
Nice.
Rotated clockwise as its combat radius is approximately 770 miles. Meaning it can reach most of Venezuela from Puerto Rico with careful fuel management and limited loitering. To extend mission time and reach deeper inland, air-to-air refueling tankers deployed strategically in the Caribbean region support these operations. In situations requiring strikes within minutes, U.S. amphibious assault ships equipped with F-35Bs can launch jets rapidly. From such ships positioned in the Caribbean, F-35Bs can reach Venezuelan targets within roughly 15 to 10 minutes, depending on speed and route. Targets typically include narco-traffickers' networks, air defense installations, command centers, and drone facilities, enabling flexible sea-based strike options against both Venezuelan military and criminal infrastructure. In essence, the F-35 deployment by the U.S. near Venezuela redefines military capabilities in the region. It combines stealth, advanced sensors, electronic warfare, and networked operations to overcome sophisticated air defenses and maintain persistent air superiority and rapid strikeability against a broad spectrum of targets.
So a whole bunch of words to say We stole El Presidente.
Got away with it, and we're out of there faster than someone sneaks, faster than a sneeze.
All right. Now that we got that out of our systems, let's go look at the video you sent into the group chat from Nux.
Oh no.
All right, let's get
Which
into
one?
This one.
Denmark request a meeting with Marco Rubio. That's right, Greenland is ours now. That's how it works. I'm sorry. I know that a lot of people are going to be mad about this, but we need Greenland. We need it for 3 major reasons. Reason number 1, we need Greenland because it has rare minerals that would be very useful to us. Greenland number 2, the second major reason is because geopolitically it's very important. It's in an important region, all right? It's near Chinese and Russian waters. For our national security, we need Greenland. And for the third reason why we need Greenland is because it would be really freaking cool to send in Delta Force and take over an extra land, make them part of the America Imperium. All right? It'll be great. We could rename it to Orange Land after Trump. I'm totally fine with that. We were promised Greenland 3,000 years ago, and we want it. That is all part of reason 3. All right? It's very important. We want Greenland, and therefore it's ours now. I don't make the rules. It's just ours because we're stronger, and you can't say anything, actually. Like, literally, what are they going to do? They can fucking ride sled dogs? They're going to throw snowballs at us? Holy shit, wake up. International law is fake and gay.
International law means absolutely nothing when pixels start disappearing from the sky.
4,276. It's gonna be amazing. Lock in, everybody. It's time for an episode of the American Empire. So I have to show you all the lore here. So it all started with Donald Trump on the plane.
It's canon.
And they're asking him about Greenland. And ever since he kidnapped Maduro, he stole the illegitimate ruler of Venezuela. He literally stole the president of another country. All of a sudden, it's like, wow, this guy could literally just do things, and we really can't do anything about it, actually.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? What is anybody gonna do about it?
Exactly.
Womp womp.
He yoinked the president from somewhere else. He captured an El Presidente. He added it to his collection.
He added the president to his collection. Why?
I swear, Nux has got to be ADHD. He's got to be.
Bro, the man's on meth or something.
No, I would say the same, but I listened to him enough. No, that's just him.
So now Trump, when he says that we're taking Greenland, it's going to happen.
I will say this about Greenland. We need Greenland.
You heard it here first. We need it. It's ours.
Yep.
From a national security situation. It's so strategic. Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the.
On a serious note, yeah, they should not be. You notice how everywhere around America is covered with Russian and Chinese ships right now?
Yep.
What does
Alaska?
That tell you? What does that tell you?
They're staging.
Yeah. So we need Greenland.
They are staging.
We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security. And Denmark is not going to be able to do it, I can tell you. You know what Denmark did?
What are they going to do about it? What are they going to do? They're going to condemn us? Are they going to write tweets, maybe? I don't know, man. Are they going to write tweets at us? I'm not certain. What are they going to do? What are they going to try to say? Are they going to say we condemn Orange Man? Sorry, bro. You have no power here. You bank at our mercy.
To boost up.
Why not just cooperate with Denmark? Dude, we would love to cooperate with Denmark, but it must involve them giving Greenland.
We're willing to do anything you want as long as you give us Greenland.
Exactly.
You misunderstand something very, very pivotal here. We are all for all forms of cooperation with Denmark as long as the conclusion is we own Greenland. If they don't agree with that conclusion, well, then they're not cooperating with us, the people that actually make the rules. What are they going to do? Call the international law police Please, dude.
Security in Greenland, they added one more dog sled.
Did you hear this, man? Oh my God. Our tanks, their dog sled.
Oh my freaking God. Oh my God. They added a dog sled. I can't with this guy.
It's our Navy SEALs and their Navy rides on SEAls.
It's true. They thought that was a great move.
What would the justification be for a plane to Greenland?
What would the justification be? Rules are for losers. We have guns.
Jesus Christ.
Like I said, I may not agree with everything he says, but damn if I do not love the way he presents it.
We have Navy SEALs. Their Navy rides on SEAls. Jesus Christ.
Idiot. I'm sorry, man. I'm enjoying myself way too much here. I'm not giving any opinions of my own. I'm just enjoying the movie. All right.
Oh, I don't want to talk about Greenland now. I just say
what would the justification be?
This: we need Greenland from the standpoint of national security, and the European Union needs us to have it, and they know that.
That's right, baby.
They need us to have it. I mean, so on that note, he's not wrong. So
no, he's not.
They can't defend it because they can barely afford to be in NATO. I personally think if Trump were a negotiating man, which he is, I think we should get Greenland just as payment. We can settle everything and say, you know what? All the funding for NATO, all of the war in Ukraine. We're square. Call it even.
And he has said that. He said that he said just the other day during his last press conference that he did when Greenland was brought up, he said that Greenland would be fair compensation for what we are owed by both Greenland and Denmark and NATO altogether.
So I'm not
that
far
would
off.
Cover it.
He should.
No, you're not.
They should absolutely give us Greenland because.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's already part of the Americas. It's already connected to us.
It's not like we want to like make it the 51st state. It would be Puerto Rico. They would get representation the same way. I think that's completely fair.
In all honesty, they would have a lot more. They would have a lot more under us than they currently do under Denmark, and they don't realize that.
Oh my goodness.
We need Greenland, and they need us to have it, and they're gay. They're cowardly. They're cucked. They're gay.
Bro.
They're importing people. Their countries are shitholes. You know what? If they piss me off, what are they going to do when I decide to start kidnapping European presidents?
No! No!
What are they going to do? 88 minutes. I can have Keir Starmer in my basement.
Oh my God. Yes. I mean, no, don't, no, stop, no, bad.
In 88 minutes, dude, it was necessary. We liberated another dictator. No kings, they said. I arrested him. He's a bitch. We don't like him. Dude, you don't understand, bro. I'm so happy that this hyper lib-cucked neoliberal order of people thinking that we need to just self-flagellate ourselves while we're getting taken advantage of by third world retards and dictators, when the reality is actually we could just do things.
Exactly. And that's what I've been saying. We can just do things. Why don't we do the things we can do to better our own self-interest?
Exactly. We're a superpower. We need to act like it.
Turns out the people of the United Kingdom will be liberated from fascist dictator Keir Starmer, queer Keir, we call him. He's gay. All right. So anyway, Trump keeps going. This is happening, by the way. Like the meetings are actually happening right now. Greenland is and Denmark are doing meetings.
Funny enough, the other night the Pentagon pizza tracker went way up.
Yep.
So
things with Marco Rubio. Like, you don't understand. This is happening. We are acquiring the hemisphere, whether they like it or not. And all of the Mexicans are going to be liberated as well. When I say Mexicans, I mean everyone south of the United States border. Everyone south of the United States border is Mexican. Everyone in South America, they're just South American Mexicans.
Bruh.
And they will soon be liberated.
We need Greenland for national security, not for minerals. We have so many sites for minerals.
It's not for the money.
Minerals and oil and everything. We have more oil than any other country.
We didn't even.
Especially after we stole Venezuela.
Need Venezuela's oil.
No!
We just wanted Venezuela to not be giving oil to China. Because fuck China. I don't like them. We liberated Venezuela. We kidnapped an El Presidente. Their oil is no longer going to those retards on the other area. Fuck them. They're gay. Vladimir is no longer getting oil from Venezuela. Did you know that Putin is gay in Spanish?
We need Greenland.
On a different note, this will give Trump a lot more negotiating power to end the war in Ukraine, because now they're going to get oil for their military, and Putin's going to be in a rock and a hard place here soon. And all of the comments that everybody's been making about how Trump's being soft on Putin and all this fun, he is strategically tearing down all of the systems that Putin is relying on to keep this war going. And Venezuela was a bigger piece than people realize.
And the other thing is what people don't realize is that the uprising that's happening in Iran, the crown prince that's been in who was ousted originally, he is currently he is in talks with Israel and the USA to be reinstated, because that's who the people that are uprising want back in power. And right now, Israel's has been protecting the protesters through video, through the press. They've been, especially the women, they've been blurring out their faces, because actual feminine liberation, they're going out there, they're dancing in public, they're taking off their hijabs. That is true female empowerment right there.
That's patriarchy. There is what that is.
And here's the thing: is what people also don't realize is in Iran currently, what those women are doing are a death sentence.
Yeah, like I don't know if I can find the video, but there was a video of like Iran in the 70s and in the 80s.
Yeah,
it looked like the West until the until the Ayatollah got in. Like, women did not have hijabs unless they wanted to wear one because of their religion. It looked like a Western country. So
here's the other interesting little factoid: if the crown prince gets reinstated, that means Iran has the opportunity to become the Middle Eastern superpower.
Yeah.
And if they become our allies, like both the crown prince and I'm sure Trump wants, now we have a growing superpower that we are promoting and helping, and is now
we're not controlling. We're friends with them.
Yes, I didn't say controlling. Did I say controlling?
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I'm making that distinction.
Oh yeah, no, this is not a type of control. This is a friend. This is an ally. This is someone we're giving a helping hand to. We don't want to control them. We want to grow them along with us.
We just want people to be nice to us, because we're nice to everybody, unless you're Maduro.
Yeah.
And if you
America first, we're taking your country.
take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place.
That's right. That's right. The Urukai is at the gates. All right. They're calling Gondor for aid. Whether they like it or not,
We need Greenland.
Gondor is on its way. Oh my God. Putin should have been nicer to Trump, because now we're just conquering the world instead or something. But no, I thought you don't like war. Of course I don't like war. We need Greenland, though. Well, it's not my fault. Greenland should just give themselves to us.
Bruh. I can't even react to this. My reaction is just pure laughter.
I know.
My opinion opinion is it's in Greenland's best interest if they just said, you know what, America, you can fuck us wherever you want. I think that would be better. I don't want war. I would prefer they just give themselves to us willingly. Unfortunately, we need Greenland, though, I guess, or something. So anyway, now a lot of people on the left are like, wow, Trump is being all imperial or something. Trump is being super imperial. He's being imperial the way he's just kidnapped a dictator. Now,
Well, wait. It's not imperialistic to arrest somebody for crimes.
let me give you some lore here. This dictator lost his election. He was illegitimately the ruler. He was
according to 50 countries,
oppressing the people. He was killing tens of thousands of his own citizens. He had a bounty,
and they were starving,
on his head for $50 million.
That's a lot of money.
And Trump collected the bounty.
Yes, he did.
Technically, we didn't even spend money on this mission. This mission paid for itself.
That's what I'm saying, right?
What, you want us to put bounty on people and just not take them? This is...
Thank you.
The Don Roll Doctrine, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
Who put the original bounty on Maduro?
I mean, we don't talk about that.
All right.
Yeah, bullshit.
Right.
I'll say it. Biden and Kamala.
Oh, man. You weren't supposed to say that. Oh, no.
Where?
The whole liberal narrative is falling apart before our eyes.
This is the United Planet of America.
Oh, crap. I might get kicked because my phone's at 1%. I'm going to try and switch the cords real quick.
Okay.
United Continents of A, we call it. That's what we call it here. It's all us. You just don't know it yet. So anyway, CNN is very excited to show how literally everyone is so mad at Trump right now because, you know, Trump kidnapped a dictator and obviously everyone hates him now. Like you look at Twitter, everyone's protesting. No, Trump, I can't believe you'd violate the national sovereignty of a nation that was occupied by a dictator, warlord, pedophile. To be fair, I don't know if he was a pedophile, but I don't like him at all. All right, so hot take. I don't know if this one's a pedophile, but I know he's friends with pedophiles in Iran, where they marry children, which is currently being overthrown as well, which is pretty great. So anyway, CNN releases the numbers because this is really hitting Trump very hard. You know, he's getting a lot of backlash for all of this. So I think it's important to note that Trump has never been in a more dire place than literally right now.
About what the president's done in Venezuela? Let me be very clear. There is no rift in the Republican Party.
That's right. Everyone is against it.
Yes, there are some folks like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie who are quite skeptical of this. They are very much in the minority. What are we talking
minority?
about here? Well, why don't we?
What are you? When I said
fuck?
against it, I lied. They're actually for it.
Just talk the GOP on the U.S. military ousting Maduro. Ipsos, 65% support, 6% opposed.
Oh, beautiful.
How about the Washington Post poll? 74% support.
No.
Just 10% opposed.
Guys, literally almost unanimous. Okay, you don't understand. This is the most literally beloved military action in the history of our country.
Right. Look, among 2024 Trump supporters, we're talking about 80% support. The vast majority of Republicans are with Donald Trump on this issue.
That's it, boys.
Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene are very much in the minority.
That's why I think that they're cringe. They're literally just constantly shitting on Trump because that's become their entire personality.
Because they're losing relevancy because Trump doesn't like them anymore because they're backstabbing bitches.
Very few Republicans are with him.
You say they're with him on this issue. Do you even need those words, this issue?
No, I don't need the words, this issue.
Why not?
The bottom line is this. Donald Trump has had an iron grip on that Republican base for a long period of time. It is the same iron grip that he had 6 months ago. I know every so often people are saying, oh, I spot these little rifts in the Republican base. Oh, you know, they're finally starting to break. They're starting to break from Donald Trump. It ain't happening, at least when it comes to the approval rating. Look at this. 84% 6 months ago. 85% now.
Now, I know a lot of you probably don't know this, but 85 is actually more than 84. I don't think you are realizing the level of W. All right, Big Dick Doctrine is coming in clutch.
You don't have to be a mathematical genius to know 85% and 84% are basically the same number. 85%
bigger,
1 point higher.
There it is. So this is CNN literally just releasing the information. Like this dude's awesome. This dude's amazing because he's like a CNN guy. He's obviously not like pro-Trump, but he can't help but just laugh at the fact that Trump is absolutely dominating right here. Like you don't understand. He's kidnapping El Presidentes, and
his
everyone
approval
loves
ratings
it.
are going up.
Because it turns out, America being the most powerful country in the world, we should act like it. All right, this is the nuclear take. The nuclear take is we are the most powerful country, and we're just going to act like the most powerful country, actually. And I'm really glad that we have people like Rubio, who has been unfathomably based. He goes on NBC News, and they just try their absolute best to troll him. No, actually, it's illegal to kidnap Presidente.
Let me ask you about oil. The president says the U.S. is taking over the oil.
Yeah, this is what we call a colossal W. All right, I want to explain to you how this works. We liberated Venezuela. The people of Venezuela are happy. We captured a wanted terrorist, a criminal, a drug trafficker, a narco terrorist bitch.
Do you know how hard it is to capture somebody alive like that?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah. That shit's hard.
We also stopped the flow of illegal.
What's up?
If I do get kicked, it'll take probably about 10 minutes for me to get back on.
Oh, no worry. We got 51 minutes and 2 seconds of this meth addicted freaking gerbil.
Illegal drugs into our country. We stopped the flow of illegal terrorists and gangbangers into our country, and we also took control of $17 trillion of oil. We also
now that's not as good as it sounds, but more on that later.
Stopped $17 trillion of oil, which, by the way, fun fact, is around 50% of China's oil. All right, 50% of China's oil stopped through this action. China wants to go to war with Taiwan. Well, they're not going to go to war with Taiwan if they have no fucking oil. Pay attention to the geopolitics. All right, this move, all right, this 88-minute war, all right, straight up,
not a war.
Absolutely neutered China. Neutered.
But I do agree with it.
Gave us trillions of dollars, liberated Venezuela, captured a terrorist, stopped our people from dying. It's literally just a colossal W. But of course, you have absolute retards on the left. No, leave my communist dictator alone. So anyway, this is them saying, oh my God, you're taking oil?
The question is, I guess, if the purpose of the operation was to capture Maduro and bring him to justice, why does the United States need to take over the Venezuelan oil industry?
I'm really glad you brought this up, lady. So
I'll give you one answer. Because we want it.
Venezuela has all this oil and is doing nothing with it. And also, we're making $17 trillion. And also, we're stopping it from literally flowing into our enemies. Absolute retard bitch. Like, I'm telling you, the media is like this. If you're doing it to kidnap a bad guy, why? Why are you taking the oil? It's like, bro, because we get a free $17 trillion and we stop it from going to our enemies. You're gay and retarded.
Well, we don't need to. First of all, let me go back up. We don't need Venezuela's oil. We have plenty of oil in the United States. What we're not going to allow is for the oil industry in Venezuela to be controlled by adversaries of the United States. You have to understand, why does China need their oil?
That's right.
That's a very, very good question.
Killer, Marco.
Why does China need their oil? Why does Iran need that oil? Is it possibly so Russia can continue invading Ukraine? Is it possibly so that China can invade Taiwan? Is it possibly so that all of our adversaries can fuck us?
Right?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a geopolitical expert, but seems like a pretty good thing to me.
Iran need their oil.
Yeah, this is going to force Putin to the negotiation table. It's going to force him to the peace table. He cannot.
Trump is trying to give what's his nuts Zelensky cards. He's trying to pass him cards under the table. He's like, hey, use this one.
Exactly.
Like, can I have more money, please?
This is the Western Hemisphere.
He doesn't like them, but he's trying to
allow the Western Hemisphere
save what's left.
He's trying to end a war. That's all he's trying to do. He wants the Nobel Peace Prize. If we give him the Nobel Peace Prize, he'll stop kidnapping El Presidentes.
Of operation for adversaries, competitors, and rivals of the United States.
Have specific oil companies.
We also want to see that oil and the proceeds from it. Hold on. We want to see the oil proceeds of that country benefit.
Look at her. Look at that face. Super deep thought right now. Huh? What do you mean, Russia?
The people of Venezuela.
I thought Trump liked Russia. I thought Trump liked Putin.
Why have 8 million people left Venezuela? 8 million, the single largest mass
how'd that
migration
happen?
probably in modern history.
A quarter of the fucking country. A whole quarter of the country said, you know what? Probably better somewhere else. You know what, liberals? Next time you want to talk about no kings and how Donald Trump's so horrible, remember, the only person you had leave was Rosie O'Donnell.
Right.
And Ireland doesn't even want her. I think Ellen self-deported.
And there was others that left and are now begging to come back.
It's fucking hilarious to me. Oh, I hate this country so much. Bitch, leave. Bye. Stop voting.
They did.
Get out of here.
And there is one lady who moved to South Africa, and she's a black woman. She moved to South Africa, gave up her American citizenship, and within 6 months, around the time that Trump started bringing when Trump brought in the white South African farmers into America, she was trying to come back at that point, and she was told she has to wait. She crashed out over.
She has to immigrate back to America?
Yes, she has to immigrate back to America. And she's crashing out because she's a natural born American, so she should be at the head of the line.
Over a president. She renounced her citizenship over a president.
Yep.
I don't even know this lady. I don't know who this lady is, but if everything you're telling me is true, she can stay there. Bye.
I'm gonna have to find her because she's still there and she's still crashing out over it. She can't believe that we let in Africans before a natural born American, even though she gave up her citizenship and she was all about moving to South Africa and how it'd be so much better because it's the land of her ancestors.
How's that working out for you?
Oh, it's not. She's been broken into multiple times.
Bro, she's gonna get all her. She's the American with all the money. She's gonna get all her shit stolen.
Left Venezuela in 2014 because all the wealth of that country was stolen to the benefit of Maduro and his cronies in the regime. But now,
yeah, it didn't go to help the Venezuelan people. It went to go help Chavez. It went to go help Maduro. Also, I think we bombed.
We did. We did.
We bombed
on the way out. On the way out.
That's
Nux has a whole
pissing on someone's grave.
not to the benefit of people in Venezuela. You know how
Nux did a whole like 20-minute crash out laugh fest, making fun of how we went and bombed Hugo Chavez's mausoleum, and his bones are now ash.
8 million migrants is the number
Just
one fear
because
that Brazil has, that Colombia has, that all these countries in the region have about what's happening in Venezuela and our involvement. They're afraid of another mass migration event.
That's right.
That's what they fear.
Put it
This
in
is
the
deeply
StreamYard.
destabilizing stuff.
Absolutely.
It's not going to continue to happen.
Give me a few minutes.
And all these the Venezuelan gangbangers and illegal migrants that are in America, a lot of them are here because fuck, that place is a nightmare right now. Well, it was until we took it.
Not going to come from outside of our hemisphere, destabilize our region in our own backyard, and us have to pay the price for it.
Yeah, literally, why do we have to play this game? Why do we have to play this game? I think you're forgetting something very important here. We have a lot more guns, and our guns are bigger, and they also work. All right? You're forgetting so many details in this entire equation, bitch reporter lady. Now, someone in my chat just asked me, but what if it becomes another Iraq? All right, so I'm just going to make this clear. That was a Dave Smith level room temperature IQ take. Iraq and Venezuela are totally different. Iraq involved us establishing our own government, giving it to people who are literally warring feudal barbarians, okay? All right?
Jesus.
Venezuela is a democracy that was hijacked and captured. Oh.
Not so long ago. That's actually a pretty good point. That's the best defense to that question I've heard this entire time. It's two totally different things.
Okay, literally hijacked and captured by literally a socialist dictator that is overthrowing and overturning elections using force. force that is being backed by Iran and Cuba and Russia and China. So I'm not going to lie to you. This is an absolute room temperature IQ take. If you think the people in Venezuela that were being oppressed and literally trying to run elections, except they couldn't, all right, on one hand, and on the other hand, Iraq is an entire different situation that involves tens of thousands of our troops on the ground there.
And thousands of them dying. No one died here. We were in and out faster than you can get through the line at in and out.
So yeah, anyway, I'm really glad we're on the same page. You're retarded. Moving on. No offense, obviously. I'm sure you were just asking in good faith. Stephen Miller, the bald Jew in the White House himself, has also been going...
Stephen Miller, the bald Jew in the White House. Jesus Christ.
Absolutely hog wild. Dude's been going insane. I really prepared a really good video for us today. I decided that my videos are better than other people's videos because...
and now your videos are in my videos. So what does that make? That makes your videos... My videos are your videos squared.
I decided that we're taking over.
I found it, and I found the minute where it starts.
That's what I decided.
Fuck yeah. All right, I'll play that one next. Where is the...
I put it in the comments.
Oh, I see it.
My videos are better because I recognize that international law is fake and gay, and we have more guns, and we want Greenland, so therefore it's ours. And if it's not ours yet, then it's inevitable that it'll be ours. It was promised us 3,000 years ago.
Mexico is Jewish.
You know what? Let's go and watch that one. It's at 14:45. We'll come back.
Yeah, that's when he starts. The his extreme cackling crash out. The best kind of crash out. A good crash out.
All right. Let's share this one instead. Man, I'm getting this StreamYard. Oh, come on. 1440. Let's go to 39.
Insane. That's who left celebrating. Bro, it's crazy. Now, you have to see this. This is, in my opinion, the funniest part of this entire saga. I can confirm that the mausoleum of dictator Hugo Chavez was bombed. His remains were there. It has been left destroyed. All right. So this is the second thing I needed to talk about these Trump strikes. When I saw this, I was on the floor. You don't understand. I was literally on the floor crying, laughing. All right. My whammon approached me. Are you okay? What is going on? I was literally inconsolably laughing, crying. Okay. So Hugo Chavez was the last socialist dictator of Venezuela. He started this whole bullshit. And he died and he was buried in a mausoleum. And while they went in...
You know, before Hugo Chavez was buried, everybody in Venezuela was forced to go like pay respect to his casket. He had like a clear casket and he was like put in their I guess
they treated him like he was a saint.
Like
they were forced to treat him like a saint.
Yeah, they had him like perfectly embalmed and he was just dead, just on display for everybody. Yeah, I remember that. I was young when that happened.
There with the Delta Force. They captured Maduro, the current actual, narco-terrorist dictator. They bombed his grave. Just like the fuck you. Just as a fuck you, bro. They flew for no reason at all.
Bro, they spent $20 million to turn his bones to dust. Oh my god. If you're watching this live stream later, just promise I'm normally not this crazy. But this is fucking ridiculous. How much?
It's funny.
Oh, just purely for the love of the game. They flew over and they just poof and they obliterated Hugo Chavez's grave. May he rot in hell. Fucking communist dictator, tortured millions. They just bombed his grave just for the love of the game. And I respect it so much. Probably the funniest order Trump has given. When you go in there and you capture Maduro and his wife and we charge them for narco trafficking. Wow.
You know what would have made this perfect? If he would have flown the helicopter by and like
recorded it,
put a sat link up to Trump, and he's like, "Hey, El Presidente, watch this." Just fucking rain hell on the grave. We're gonna do this to you when you're gone. Just remember that.
While you're in there, don't forget to bomb the grave of Hugo Chavez. May he rot in fuck. May he burn in shit. Oh my god, dude. It's insane. Insane motion for Delta Force here. Zero purpose, zero military significance, pure love of the game. I just love how there was literally no reason to do this, aside from giving a middle finger to communist dictators. There was no reason to do this, obviously. It was just
do Kim Jong Il next.
Literally a fuck you.
Right?
Dude, glorious. Absolutely glorious. Zero media leaks. Successful strikes. Completely leveled primary airbase. Bomb the corpse of Hugo Chavez for fun. Capture Maduro like Batman or something. Oh my god. Do Keir Starmer next? Yeah. Dude, absolute cinema. It is insane watching this, dude. It's absolutely insane watching this. What a crazy day. Absolute cinema. Now, this is the third twist, all right? So,
bro,
the third twist you got to listen to. This is the best. This is actually really good.
What's hilarious? I think I know where this is going. The Chinese delegates were there. Worst work trip ever. Awkward.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, there were a couple of twists. The third twist of this operation, just in, Chinese officials arrive in Venezuela for talks with President Nicolas Maduro. As you can see, this was posted at 10:29 on January 2nd. All right, so this was done literally 1 hour before they started getting bombed. All right, so this is 1 hour before the bombing starts. Chinese officials arrived in Venezuela saying, "Don't worry, Nicolas Maduro.
Why are they Russian?
Will be the
Just wait for it.
friends. Me are gay together. We will work allies against United States dogs. My name is Ambassador Something Wong, and I can't figure out if something is happening." In my opinion, this was also part of Trump's plan, just as the extra fuck you, because that's Trump, and I love him for it. So anyway, Chinese officials were live in Venezuela for talks with Maduro. Breaking: Chinese officials are apparently caught in the crossfire as they arrive for Venezuela government meetings 4 hours ago. So they're bombing all. Finery, a vacation. What's that sound? Dunnard, you asshole! Oh no, Dunnard, you asshole! Yeah, finery, a vacation. What's that sound? Anyway, it obviously did not go super well for these guys. Now this is just footage of the Chinese. Bro, that's just actual footage of the Chinese caught in the crossfire.
Oh my god!
Keep going.
Oh my god! I need to breathe.
Breathing, what's that?
Hey, bro, it's absolute cinema. Bro, dude, I just love the meme, bro. Marico. Oh no! Look out! Look out! Look out, everyone! Look out! Bro, it's absolute cinema. I love it so much. Oh my god, it's too good. It's too good. So Trump also decided at the same day as all this, he decides to drop a relatively ominous warning about Mexico.
I wonder, Mr. President, I want to ask you because from your vice president, J.D. Vance, said that the message is pretty clear. The drug trafficking.
You know what? I'll save that for later. I'll show you Trump's coverage of this at the end. You have to see what else is going on. Notice anything about the men in the picture? They're men. Wow, that's crazy. I noticed. Trump had decoupled South America from Russia, Iran, and China. If you failed to see this, you're either paid or don't understand geopolitics. True. True. You don't understand. This is like, dude, when he said golden age, like this is actual golden age level shit. A lot of people, I think, are underestimating exactly how massive of a deal this all is and how big of a W it is for America. I'll show you again. I'll show you this later. Never fear. I'll show you the Trump interview later. It's incredible. It's actually incredible. So anywho, I have to show you some leftoid crash outs. These guys are incredible. Like they're in tears over this. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, Trump's illegal and unprovoked bombing of Venezuela and kidnapping of its president are grave violations of international law and the U.S. Constitution. These are the actions of a rogue state. The American people do not want another regime-change war abroad. What war? War? What do you mean war? War? This is what we call cope. So Rashida Tlaib is a Muslim. I'm so shocked that they're standing firm with Venezuela terrorists. There's no way. So anyway, Rashida, not trying to be Islamophobic or anything. I just noticed that all the Palestinians are crying over Maduro getting captured for some reason. I'm noticing that in Iran, the government is really allied with Maduro or something. Although I could be mistaken. So Trump's illegal, unprovoked bombing. First of all, I want to make this clear. According to international law, it is legal. We have an extradition treaty with Venezuela. All right, we've had an extradition.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we have an extradition treaty with Venezuela.
Oh, so we can. I did not know that. I completely, that slipped my mind. Because I was arguing with someone a few days ago. They're like, we can't do that. They blah, blah, blah. It's a sovereign nation. We have an extradition treaty. Cool.
Yep.
Treaty with Venezuela for 100 years. Maduro has outstanding criminal charges of drug trafficking and owning machine guns and targeting Americans and stuff like that. It is, first of all, completely legal according to international law and U.S. law. I just want to make that clear. All right? I do think so. All right? That's my opinion as a legal retard. And my second opinion is, fuck you. I don't give a shit. Fuck you. That's my politics. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib over here supports Hamas, right? You know, the terrorists that jumped over the border in Israel and murdered and massacred 1,200 innocent people and captured 300 as hostages and started the entire Israel-Gaza conflict. That whole conflict started because Hamas decided to jump over the border, murder, and rape innocent people. And she supported those guys? Are you supposed to say that? Is that supposed to be like, is that legal? Like, what are we doing here? Like, literally, what is this? What's happening? It's almost like your politics are pro everyone that's an ally of the Islamic regime and an enemy of America. Shockingly, she was only elected because the Muslim city of Dearborn, Michigan is in her district in Michigan. And they obviously voted for her. So here she is to talk about how America is bad, actually, and how the third world is actually way better than America, and leave my terrorist homies alone. Also, and this is important to mention, Obama dropped 26,000 illegal bombs while he was president. No one bitched about it. Fuck you. Anyway, I'm really glad that my politics are in order, so we can move on. Mehdi Hassan, another radical leftist, Muslim, can't believe it. If Xi Jinping invaded Taiwan right now and toppled the president there, on what grounds would the United States object or have any credibility to say anything? Oh, I'll explain it to you. It's because Maduro is not the actual legal ruler of Venezuela, unlike Taiwan. It's because Taiwan isn't funding a gigantic drug enterprise. They're not a terror network that's literally terrorizing China. And because also, fuck you. I don't give a shit. Did you forget my politics from earlier? I'm so done playing these games.
Look back at Rule 1. Treating
this like it's a normal conversation. You're obviously just radically pro-communism, pro-infinite immigration, pro-China, pro-Islamic terror. I love how, like, these people, they view the world in such a concocted, horrible way, and then they try to shove it down your throats and silence replies. You're not actually able to reply to this tweet, and then shut down replies. They can't even engage with this topic, as if comparing the sovereignty of Taiwan from radical communist China to a dictator that grabbed power, loses elections, but maintains power because he's a narco-terrorist in Venezuela that's literally shipping drugs and killing Americans, to America capturing him. How could you even possibly...
They're the same thing. What do you mean?
Compare these two. Only in the leftoid mind of retard bullshit does this make sense. And it's incredible.
Oh, whoops.
Hassan Piker also having a generational crash out. Great day.
A generational crash out.
To be an America First bootlicker who voted for the most Israel First admin that got so.
Oh yeah, he and Hassan have a huge thing against each other. Hassan actually has Nuxenor's name and the term Blue Voldemort and the something else all blocked from showing up in his chat. Anyone that types in Nuxenor into his chat automatically get kicked. He will not say his name. He calls him, the one guy, the slot tube VTuber. Yeah, he will not allow Nuxenor's name on his channel whatsoever.
Yeah.
This guy, it's incredible. It's almost like he's
Well, he electrocutes his dogs, so
just a radical
Well,
Islamist.
true. But
Walt
this is
Fixton
yeah.
cuts taxes for the super wealthy. He cut taxes actually for the average working class guy, and spends all its money instead on bombing Venezuela. By the way, Hassan is pro Somali fraud. You have to understand. Hassan doesn't think that Somali fraud is a big deal. They stole $18 billion, allegedly. All right? $18 billion. In my opinion, using the American military to bomb people that are literally poisoning American people is the best, most America first policy.
I'll pay extra taxes this year for it.
You could possibly have.
Holy shit, I just said that. Oh. Trump makes me want to pay more taxes.
Right?
I feel like our boys in green and our boys in blue with the DEA, they need a little bump.
Yeah. I told you, listening to Max really gets you in a different headspace.
Oil for the super profits of the pedophilic elite. So this is my stance. My stance is all criticisms about the Epstein files is all valid. It's all valid, except I will never hear any criticisms about it by someone that supports Islamic terror organizations of sex slavers and pedophiles.
Or from the Democratic Party that gave no fucks about it over the past.
They're the same thing. To him, they're the same thing.
So if you support Hamas that had literal child sex slaves, or Hezbollah with child sex slaves, or Houthis with child sex slaves, your opinion about the Epstein files really
irrelevant.
Doesn't matter very much to me. So here we have the entire Latin American world celebrating that their terrorist dictator regime, drug lord, was actually toppled in one instant without a single American dying in an instant war that wasn't even a war, where the guy was captured, he was removed,
That was a very, very spicy arrest warrant.
Yeah.
Put in a jail in New York, awaiting trial, absolute cinema, and this dude's crying and coping because we spent money on our military. Bro, we're spending money on our military anyway.
They just got to go do something.
What we have a military for. Like, it's absolutely insane. Gut social programs, but he refuses to deport the illegal aliens that are taking advantage of our social programs. Law of the jungle. The dumbest of us will love this and treat it as a projection of strength. No, the dumbest of us actually are thinking that it's the law of the jungle. The dumbest of us think that the dumbest are loving it and treating it as a projection of strength. In reality, it is a projection of strength. In fact,
go back to awkward Chinese people. Go back to Russia. Vladimir Putin. Since when do we give a fuck about what Vladimir fucking Putin says?
Right.
What side are you on? I thought you hated Putin, libtards. Wouldn't Putin being mad be a good sign to you?
No, it's because
in reality,
Trump is showing that how he actually feels about Putin by taking Venezuela and we're, kind of backing the protesters in Iran and letting them topple their own government.
Military actions mean a lot more than social justice warriors' words.
It is strength. Because there was like this communist dictator guy that was backed by like China and Russia and Iran, and he was terrorizing America for a while. And he was
Shia LaBeouf
into our
clapping in the
places,
background.
and then he was like shipping, gangbangers, Venezuelan gangbangers into our country. And now he's gone, and now he's no longer a threat. He was neutralized instantly. So no, that actually is strength. Actually, it turns out, and law of the jungle is law. And when you come down to it, that's how it ends up. Belligerent madman sitting on a throne of a dying empire, lashing out in every direction, pulling the rest of the world into chaos and destruction. Chaos and destruction? Let me know.
Bro, that is the perfect reply.
When you see chaos and destruction, it looks to me like Venezuelan people are literally celebrating this because it's a wonderful day, because, their terrorist regime was toppled. What chaos and destruction? I didn't notice any chaos and destruction. I noticed the...
You know when I notice chaos and destruction? Anytime Democrats want to protest about something.
Absence of chaos and destruction, but to someone whose moral worldview is thinking that every terrorist is actually a good guy, so yeah, I can get why this pisses you off, because you're pro-terrorist, and Hassan Piker should probably go to jail too, which he probably will at some point. Of course, obviously, the demonstrate your support for Venezuela, demonstrate your support for Palestine. Literally, what is happening here? Trump would become the greatest president of all time if he just decided to denaturalize and deport every communist in America. The communist is pro-Palestine, pro-Venezuela. Like, literally, like the idea.
The shit writes itself. Like, come on.
Ideologies don't even mesh. It's just anti-America. The only actual alliance between the communists and the Islamists is that they hate the West. And that is literally where the communists are, because they want some sort of revolution to overthrow Western civilization.
And the Muslims are all too happy to have it.
It's all the retards that they share food with each other. They spit in each other's mouths. Of course, look at the New York Times. Donald Trump's attack in Venezuela is illegal and unwise. Again, actual retards.
Since when do we care about the New York Times? They haven't gotten a story right since before I was born.
Retards spewing retard shit just because they hate Trump. Imagine hating Trump so much you are spitting in the face of the millions of Latin Americans that are celebrating right now, and also the Americans that lost family members because of drug overdoses because they were being shipped in by these retards. So everyone's favorite political commentary, Harry Pissin, decided to release a tweet. He's just a
Harry Pissin,
a massive Democrat cocksucker. He's not an Islamist, all right? He's not a communist or an Islamist, all right? So I already showed you like Mehdi Hassan and Hassan Piker and Rashida Tlaib. These guys are Islamists. So obviously they're against it because they're pro the Islamic regime take over the Western civilization. This guy is just a libtard retard. I wanted to show you his stance also because it's important to understand that there are multiple factions on the left. There are the Islamists that want the downfall of America. And then there are the actual brainwashed, gay-ass libshits that they don't want the downfall of America. They're just retarded.
A quick question for Donald Trump and his supporters. What's the plan?
Oh, the plan is get the narco-terrorist out of Venezuela and fucking kill him.
It's 5 a.m. on the East Coast right now. Donald Trump just announced that the U.S. military has captured Nicolas Maduro and his wife, the president of Venezuela.
He's actually not really the president of Venezuela because he didn't win any elections. He's a communist dictator of Venezuela backed by narco-terrorists that literally murder any opposition. So that's the first point anyway.
We bombed Venezuela in the middle of the night.
Based. Way better than bombing in the middle of the day.
Focusing on their capital city.
Based. Why the fuck would you bomb random spots if you could just do a little bit of bombing? Right? Bomb Hugo Chavez's grave and capture the
Just a little bit of bombing.
Yeah, it sounds pretty base.
And I'm just curious, what's the plan?
All right,
well, you weren't read in on that, Harry.
Plan is take the communist dictator that's torturing the Venezuelan people and flooding drugs into our country and gang members into our country and take him out of power because fuck him.
What are we going to do with Maduro?
We're going to execute him.
Hopefully kill him.
With his wife.
Hopefully jail her.
Where are they going? What's next?
To jail and death.
Hopefully jail.
For Venezuela.
Hopefully they'll actually take the opposition leader that won the last election, but still, even though she won the last election, she wasn't actually put into power because she was up against a narco-terrorist drug lord.
Who should be the president? She should be the president. And he wants to talk about the president of Venezuela. I thought you care about elections, Harry.
That literally kills their opposition. So, we would actually elect the rightful government, the democratically elected government of Venezuela. That's the plan.
You know, there's a massive power vacuum in Venezuela right now.
No, there's not.
Now, and
no, not really. There's actually people.
Bro!
From the original opposition government that is currently conquering
in Norway
office buildings, and hopefully they will actually, assume power as the rightful government of Venezuela, democratically elected.
I can guarantee that there are already bad groups in that country looking to take power. You know,
they can try.
Regime.
But we'll fuck them up because fuck you.
Yeah, and then Trump will bomb them too. So they don't really want to do that because Trump
historically has not worked very well.
Yeah, because we tried to institute United States-backed governments in different countries where the cultures did not mesh. Right? The liberal ideology is that all cultures are actually the same, whereas the Nuxenor ideology is that some cultures are fucking retarded. So when we tried to install an American government in Liberia, for example, that collapsed because we expected the Liberian people, average IQ of 85, to actually come together and hoist up this beautiful American democracy, and obviously that did not work super well for them over there. But the reality is, over here, we're not doing that. We're not doing an American instilled regime. All we're doing is
putting the people that belong in power back in power because the person that's in power now is now in jail.
We're annihilating one really bad fucker, and hopefully the actual elected Venezuelan government, by the people, democratically, hopefully they will actually take power. So that's it. It's
hopefully
not an American boots.
Hopefully we also support her
on the ground regime change.
We in the United States.
There were boots on the ground. He can't. The Delta Force was on the ground for all of 5 minutes.
Like to do a regime change, by getting rid of one really, really, really bad fucking guy, and then see what happens.
We're doing it again. Donald Trump, the guy who said no more war.
Wasn't a war. It was an arrest.
This isn't a. What do you mean war? This isn't a war. We just arrested a criminal. What do you mean,
bro? I have for anybody that's watching this later, and for YouTube that thinks that I'm just scamming content. I have not seen this video. Just for the record.
Just captured the president from another country.
He wasn't a crap president. He was a communist dictator.
So I'm just curious what the plan is.
He just explained it to you 3 times.
The plan was arresting a really bad fucking guy that was killing our people.
The defense minister of Venezuela survived.
So what?
Okay.
Survived the attack, had a press conference after saying,
what did they say?
There's going to be retaliation. It's not.
Oh, there is?
Do we really think that's gonna do we really I'll be real here?
We're so not worried about this. We're talking about stealing bobsleds.
The United States of America, strongest country on the planet. We better fucking act like it.
I'm so worried. Oh no.
Over.
It's over.
Want to beat the United States.
Look.
Wait. I need to run that back.
It's gonna do we really I'll be real here. We're the United States of America, the strongest country on the planet. We better fucking act like it.
Over.
It's over.
Want to beat the United States.
Not gonna happen.
Look, they're not gonna beat the United States.
Bruh.
So what's next?
We prosecute the warlord and criminal under United States Code, and we put the democratically elected president of Venezuela back in power.
Did they think this?
Hopefully that just works out very nicely, where the opposition leader that was democratically elected actually takes power. If that doesn't work, we might have to annihilate a couple more retards.
Through.
We do have a second strike available to us. Trump already said so.
Let me take that back. I already know the answer. No, they did not.
Right. So I just debunked literally every sentence in his entire TikTok. But that's the left. That's the left. You love them. You love them. They do their thing. So Nick Fuentes tweets USA with a flag.
Wait, what? Nick Fuentes likes this?
Yes.
Just like Nick Fuentes crashes out about Trump every single day about how Trump doesn't do anything, how he says he does things and then he doesn't do them. So it's always funny when I watch him like jump on the hype train for Donald Trump, and then aura with Trump and all the goats, which is true. If this is about Venezuela, then it's an extremely Zionist post.
What? Come on, man.
Yes, because Israel hates terrorists and America hates terrorists. So when
it's Zionism! I figured it out! I guess I'm a Zionist as well because I hate terrorists. You're a Zionist too, Tove.
America
yes, I am.
It's actually a pro-Israel move. Dude, these people run defense for Israel constantly without even knowing it. It's incredible, dude. It's actually insane. Also, this guy is a Pakistani account living in the United Kingdom. Bro, watching the crash outs is incredible. So Maduro, a Jew, maintains power in Venezuela. By the way, Maduro's not a Jew. He's a Christian. While Jews in Israel escalate conflict with Lebanon, having already set off the conflict with Iran, blah, 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 blah. Why are Jews all over global politics? So yeah, anyway, Maduro's not a Jew. But anyway, so Maduro, a Jew, gets power. So the MAGA peace president who promises no new wars is blowing up anyone Jews ask him to? Is that
what?
That it? Wait, well, let me get this straight. You think that the United States bombing Maduro in Venezuela, which is in our hemisphere, all right, not in Israel's hemisphere, but in our hemisphere, they're doing it for Israel?
It always goes back to Israel, don't you know?
Dude, this is like a level of cope that I've never seen before. So let me get this straight. Maduro's a Jew.
All right, Ian Malcolm, 84. Don't know who that crash nut is, but
getting power in Venezuela.
It's the same guy!
And the Jews are the ones that are overthrowing Maduro in Venezuela.
I'm so confused right now. What is the narrative here? I can't even track it anymore.
Venezuela? Like, bro, dude, I love these guys. They're amazing. So I have to show you. Finally, Trump on Fox News, the celebration.
And we start with Lucas Tomlinson live in West Palm Beach, where the commander-in-chief has been spending the holidays. And Lucas, you've had great coverage overnight here. What else are we learning about this operation?
Bro, Trump apparently dropped into Fox News Live over here.
He dropped into Fox News like right after he did it, right before he went on live.
In a house that was more like a fortress than a house.
Bruh. He's like, but I saw it. I saw the Delta Force training at it.
It had steel doors. It had what they call a safety space, where it's
a safe space.
Safe house, yeah.
Solid steel all around. He didn't get that space closed. He was trying to get into it, but he got bum rushed so fast.
Bro, he said, Trump said, pull your pants down, bitch. I'm here.
That he didn't get into that. We were prepared. We had
your safe room can't save you.
Massive blowtorches and everything else that you need to get through that steel. But
he said, even if you did close the door, we can blow it right off.
Didn't need it. He didn't make it to that area.
Oh my God! He had a room, really enforced, steel and shit. It was crazy. We came in with Space Marine uniforms, power armor, bolters, chainsaws, flamethrowers, but we didn't need it. We bum rushed the motherfucker, and we got him immediately. He didn't have a chance. Dude, he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop.
What did those off ramps look like?
Well,
this is Trump. Trump gave Maduro off ramps over the last couple of weeks.
He could have just fucked off to Turkey, and we would have been fine and given us the oil.
Basically, I said you have to give up. You have to surrender. And
he said, "Come and get me, bitch." So we did.
It was close, but in the end, I really didn't. We had to do something that was really much more surgical, much more powerful. This was much more powerful.
Surgical and chainsaw in the same sentence doesn't really make sense, but I'll allow it.
That's right. That's right. Look, man, everyone plays these games, all right? They did the same thing with Iran. He said to Iran, give up your nuclear shit. You have 2 weeks to give up your
or we'll take it from you.
Nuclear shit. Iran said, we're not doing that. Trump bombed their nuclear shit. He said to Maduro, listen, you just need to surrender. It's okay. You surrender and we won't do anything. He didn't surrender. You do something a little more.
This is amazing. And
agreed.
We learned a lot going into. We learned a lot of things, but this was a very important symbol. And
in other words, watch the fuck out, China. Watch the fuck out.
Yeah.
We'll steal Vlad the president.
Yeah, I had discussions. I actually spoke to him myself, but I said, you have to give up. You have to surrender.
When did you speak to him?
He was not willing.
45 minutes before we landed.
A week ago.
Oh my God. Just view this in the context of
you gonna live there?
A week ago. Maduro stopped responding to my texts, so I went to go see if he was okay. I realized he was. So I kidnapped him.
Yeah, honestly, insane shit, honestly. What an absolutely wild day, dude. Colossal W for the Western world and as a whole.
Now, let's get off that one. Go back.
Give you a chance to breathe.
Oh my God.
I was getting a little odd there. You were keeping up with him on those quick little short takes. And what's even better is that you were doing the same thing with his videos that he does for his live reactions, because all the videos that he plays in his streams is the first time he watches them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too.
He just cues them and he reacts to them as they come. He live reacts.
Yeah.
he does not pre-watch. So he's like, apparently I now have the Nux pre-watch where I just know what's going to happen. And you were doing the same thing.
Yeah, that video, this first video, I watched a little bit of it, but that video right there, I had to pull it out of your link because I hadn't seen it before. I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, he's been on, and what's funny is he was when I first started watching him, he was very much centrist and was a live and let live kind of mindset.
Yeah.
And he did a lot more back when the conservatives were having their major crash outs over the Biden to the 2020 election. He was making fun of them like this.
So
but ever since, not anymore. He is gone radically conservative. He has gone. He now does not believe in the live and let live because of what it's done to society, what society has turned into, because the live and let live has now allowed it for drag queens to have story time with children. And having...
Let's listen to the bald Jew in the White House. Bro, this video, I'm just looking at his face. He's about to cook this guy.
Videos are better because I recognize that international law is fake and gay, and we have more guns, and we want Greenland.
Don't
so
forget,
it's
Nux
ours.
is also
and
Jewish.
if it's not ours yet, then it's inevitable that it'll be ours. It was promised to us 3,000 years ago when God foresaw that we had bigger guns.
The reason why I was giving you that speech, which I know you didn't want to hear, is because you're approaching this from the wrong frame. This neoliberal frame.
That's right.
The United States' job is to go around the world and demanding immediate elections be held everywhere, immediately, all the time, right away.
No. To the point that Set's guest brought up the other day, why don't we have an election? Because we have to fucking stabilize the fucking place first.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just fucking yank somebody out of power and then say, all right, elections now.
Oh.
Yep.
And he answered his own questions. Why? Because we left the entire operating body of the government and took off the head of the snake. He's absolutely right in what he said. You don't go hold an election. You don't go install power before you have a chance to fucking make sure that power is going to be successful.
That's not what I think, but you invaded the country.
You invaded the country. You invaded the country, bro. This is what CNN retard had to say. You invaded the country. Bro, we literally kidnapped the dictator that had a bounty on his head. All right, anyway, bald Jew, kill him.
Country, and you see the leader of Venezuela.
Damn straight we did.
Damn.
Yes. Yes. Finally. Damn straight we, bro. Oh my God. He put I didn't see that. Did he put that on him?
I'm away from my phone at the moment. What's on there?
The crown, the sunglasses, and the boss chain.
Yeah, he did that.
Straight we did. Damn straight we took that guy.
Yes,
we
did.
Stole an El Presidente. Damn right. Maduro was
Did you see what
promised
Vance did?
3,000.
What did Vance do?
So you know how the January 6th vigil took place?
Yeah.
Vance took a photo that was posted of like the huge group of everybody that was there and zoomed in on Schumer and the guys that were around him and put sombreros on all their heads.
Years ago. Oh my God. So this dude just straight up manhandles this poor bastard for their entire interview. It's got to be the most diabolical interview of all time.
The United States is using its military to secure our interests unapologetically in our hemisphere.
But we stole president.
Oh no! What if a retard condemns us on Twitter?
I can actively hear you hitting that pause button.
Oh no! What if Hakeem Jeffries doesn't like it? What if Xi Jinping is mad? What if Putin gets angry? What if Kim Jong-un shoots a missile? Oh my god.
That retard doesn't have nukes.
We're a superpower, and under President Trump,
That's right.
we are going to conduct ourselves as
That's
a
right.
superpower.
As we should.
It is
That's right.
absurd
That's
that
right.
we would allow a nation in our own backyard
So right.
to become the supplier of resources to
Obviously.
our adversaries,
Duh.
not to us.
Duh.
To hoard weapons from our adversaries.
Duh.
To be able to be positioned as an asset against the United States rather than on behalf of the United States.
Yeah.
Sovereign countries shouldn't be able to do what they want to do.
Sovereign countries would be allowed to do what they did if they were sovereign countries. When you don't have a president, you're not a country. When you don't have a government, you're not a country. You're just a group of people being oppressed by Maduro.
A sovereign country, but it's a sovereign country that just wants to sell its weapons to our enemies. We should respect their right to sell their weapons to our enemies, says absolute retard 4 IQ CNN take.
The Monroe Doctrine and the Trump Doctrine is all about securing the national interests of America.
He's just fucking steamrolling this guy. So guys shouldn't have
the Trump Doctrine, baby.
For years, we sent our soldiers to die in deserts in the Middle East.
As we shouldn't have.
To try to build them parliaments.
That they didn't like.
To build them democracies.
That they didn't want.
To try to give them more oil.
They wanted that.
Try to give them more
They wanted that so that they could bomb us.
resources. The future of the free world, Jake, depends on America.
Damn straight.
Ourselves and our interests without apology.
We're not nation building. We're just protecting the homeland.
Damn straight. And we need Greenland. I don't know if you got the memo.
This whole period that happened after World War II, where the West began apologizing and groveling and
That's right. No more. No more apology. No more groveling. We are strong. You are weak. And we're not just going to sit back while you literally supply your adversaries with weapons. Dude has been going crazy on CNN.
Apparently over the future of Greenland.
One last question.
Greenland.
One last question.
Get ready for
The
Greenland.
president was very quick to say that the recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize, opposition leader Machado in Venezuela, doesn't have the support in Venezuela.
That doesn't mean we're not going to give her the support. We're not going to make it so she has the support so she can get in power.
Venezuela to become the next president or the interim leader. And I wonder where.
So what baffles me is you'll have people like Sid that'll come up and say, it's been 2 days. Why are we doing a victory lap? But at the same time, you have fucking idiots like this. Oh, it's been 2 days. Why haven't we had elections yet?
He got that from, given that her cutout, Gonzalez, won the election last year,
stumbling over his
2
words
years ago, overwhelmingly 70% of the vote or something like that. Why does
something like that?
Here's the thing: is she doesn't have the Venezuelan governmental support. She has the people's support, but she does not have the governmental support.
In other words, we need to go fuck up some military people so that she can get the support.
Does the president think that Machado should not be the next leader? Why does he think she's weak?
First of all,
he didn't say that.
No, but they do believe she's a bit more of a pacifist at the moment.
Yeah, but
they want to make sure it's safe for her.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. She is one person against an entire corrupt government. They only took one guy out. And we're worried about Greenland right now anyway.
All of Venezuelan experts agree. All Venezuelan experts agree that it would be absurd and preposterous for us to suddenly fly her into the country and to put her in charge.
Why? So she can get deposed in 48 hours and killed in the streets? The people that's what you do to cause a war.
In the military, are you retarded? And
Are you fucking stupid?
Security forces would follow her.
Are you retarded?
This is not a serious. It's not even a serious question.
So should there be an election?
He said, bald guy said, "Are you dumb?"
He's so right.
If you give me the floor for 30 seconds, let me tell you what we are doing here, Jay.
All right.
The United States, this is sort of foundational. The United States is using its military to secure our interests unapologetically.
As we should.
In our hemisphere.
As we always should have.
That's right.
We're a superpower.
Damn right. We don't have healthcare because of it.
Right. President Trump, we are going to conduct ourselves as a superpower.
Fuck yeah. You're an adult. Act like it.
It is absurd that we would allow a nation in our own backyard to become the supplier of resources to our adversaries.
But you're a sovereign nation. Like that means that anything. Fuck their sovereignty. You don't care about anything else when it comes to America. You don't care about our sovereignty. You don't care about our borders. Since when do we care about sovereignty? You don't care about the sovereignty of the United States government to go into Minnesota and deport people that have violated our sovereignty. But you protect them. Since when? Since when do we care about sovereignty all of a sudden? CNN? Continue saying, Mr. Bald Guy.
But not to us. Like to hoard weapons from our adversaries, to be able to be positioned as an asset against the United States rather than on behalf of the United States.
Sovereign countries should be able to do what they want to do.
Did he double down on it? No! Sovereign country. When we have the big stick, we beat people with the big stick when they collude with our adversaries.
And let them sell money to our enemy.
Is all about securing the national interests of America. For years, we sent our soldiers to die in deserts in the Middle East to try to build them parliaments, to try to
that they didn't want,
build them democracies,
that they didn't need,
to try to give them more oil.
They could have used that.
To try to give them more resources.
We could have used that too.
The future of the free world, Jake, depends on America being able to assert ourselves and our interests without apology.
Because we're the big dog in the pound.
This whole period that happened after World War II, where the West began apologizing and groveling and begging.
I don't even know honestly what you're talking about right now.
I know you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know. You don't understand foreign policy. Take that suit off and just go home. If you don't know what he's talking about, maybe
news anchor.
I was about to say you don't recognize any of the things he's talking about. You don't understand how this makes any strategic sense.
Yes, you do.
What I'm talking about, Jake, is the idea. And by the way, you do. I know you love doing that smarmy thing, Jake. And I was hoping to be better
You're
than that.
Smarmy.
I asked you about if there should be an election.
Exactly.
Yes, there should be an election, dumbass, but not fucking 48 hours after it happens.
I asked you if there would be an election in Venezuela.
He's not going to say anything because that's going to tip our hand of what we're doing. Can they not catch a hint?
CNN, and I know Fox at the very least, but I'm pretty sure CNN, a lot of the news stations already knew shortly before that we were going in after Maduro, found out about it.
Yeah, they knew about it. The New York Times held the story. That's why I know Congress also knew about it, and they're bullshitting and lying. But they can't prove that they gave him a classified briefing because it's classified.
No, I said, why was the president so quick to dismiss that question? And then I said,
the objective, Jake, is security and stability for the people of Venezuela. With our help and leadership, that country will become more prosperous than it
He's just fucking rolling over him.
Yes, he is.
has ever been in its whole history. Venezuelans.
But the woman running Venezuela right now is part of the Maduro regime.
And she's not going to be there much longer. Remember how he said we can do it again?
There will be conversations, Jake, about all of these guideposts along the way. The reason why
he's trying to tell him what he wants to say and what I'm saying without saying it because people watch the news.
I was giving you that speech, which I know you didn't want to hear, is because you're approaching this from the wrong frame.
Because you don't understand anything. He was right. He doesn't understand.
This neoliberal frame, the United States' job is to go around the world and demanding immediate elections to be held everywhere immediately.
Right now. How did that work for us in Iraq?
All the time, right away.
No,
vacuums.
That's not what I think, but you invaded.
That's what you said.
The country, we went into the country and we seized the leader of Venezuela.
We arrested a narco-terrorist.
Damn straight we did.
So is the U.S. going to have elections?
We don't owe you an explanation.
We're not going to let Tim Pot communist dictators send rapists into our country, send drugs into our country, send weapons.
He's fucking, look at it. He gave up. He's done. He steamrolled him.
Into our country.
Okay.
And we're not going to let a country fall in the hands of our adversaries. The future of Venezuela working with America is going to be so bright, and so incredible, and so positive. And we'll have a conversation about everything that you raise. But the priority right now, as the president has made clear, is a judicious, thoughtful,
He's about to kick him off the air.
Careful transition
Oh,
process
yeah.
to secure a great future for Venezuela and to secure a great future for America.
That's right.
He has no words. He's done. The next words out of his mouth are going to be, okay, thank you, bye.
And let's just take a moment and just acknowledge that what we've witnessed under President Trump this last week is one of the greatest foreign policy and military victories this country has ever had.
Stephen Miller, thank you so much.
Bro, what did I say? What did I say?
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Here to discuss them.
He just cuts him off. He just kicks him off the air. Oh my God.
What can you say to that? If you expose your viewers to the common sense for too long, you might lose your viewers.
He literally steamrolled this guy. Oh, he puts the Jew in Jew dishes, that's for sure. Holy.
What did he just say?
Nuxenor is Jewish, but he just said he put the Jew in the judicial.
Holy crap. Bro annihilated him and he rage quit. Dude, CNN is having the worst timeline ever. They have zero defense to any of this. Oh my God.
People tend to forget that he is a Jewish man.
And I'm tired of the president.
It's about oil. Yeah, preventing oil from going to our enemies. All right. In my opinion, this is stopping China from invading Taiwan. All right. I'm telling you, man, I am something of a geopolitical expert. And I know this because I'm retarded and I'm on the internet. So therefore, my opinion is worth something or whatever. I'm just as qualified as these retards. All right. I'm just saying I am just as qualified, except I am not absolutely audience captured by leftoid freaks. All right. The actual correct take is Venezuela supplies 50% of China's oil. If China doesn't have 50% of their oil, they A, will lose the AI war, and B, will not be able to invade Taiwan. Also, Iran is China's second biggest oil supplier. Iran is falling apart as well. If Iran and Venezuela falls apart, China is losing over 70% of its oil because China has no natural oil. It's all imported. It's imported from Russia, it's imported from Iran, and it's imported from Venezuela. If Iran and Venezuela fall, China loses over 70% of their oil. They lose the AI war. They will never be able to invade Taiwan because they straight up do not have the resources to.
And we'll get Greenland.
Do it. This is one of the major reasons. And honestly, I'm so tired of all these retards on CNN being like, why are we doing this? Yes, we're making $17 trillion and we're stopping China from invading Taiwan. But
why? Because it goes against the anti-American agenda. Communism is great. Islam is great. We should allow it all. We should allow ourselves to be overrun and overruled by everybody that has any sort of an opinion, and we should never disagree with any of them.
But what about their national sovereignty?
Fuck their national sovereignty. You know what I have to say about national sovereignty?
Fuck it.
That's what I have to say about national sovereignty. Don't give a fuck.
And we're controlled by a dictator.
United States. He chooses Caracas over rural health hospitals, right? He chooses Venezuelans over soybean farmers.
This guy. Oh my God. He's so smart he can't even get his earbud all the way in.
Such a terrible take also. It's like, but why don't we just do infinite socialism here instead of...
We didn't try hard enough. Maduro wasn't a good enough example.
Trying to liberate Venezuela. Why do we do infinite socialism?
Everybody else in America.
Did you oppose the Biden administration putting a bounty on Maduro's head as well?
No, Maduro.
Destroyed.
Cooked. He forgot about that part. Probably didn't know about that part. Probably because he only gets his news from the headlines and doesn't understand anything about anything or doesn't remember anything about anything ever. Very short attention span. Low IQ.
Yeah.
He must be Somali.
He's a horrible person. He needs to be shackled.
What is the
He needs to be shot. Did he say shot or shackled? Hold on.
Oh my God.
Go back to
destroyed.
He's a horrible person. He needs to be shackled.
What is the
Okay, he said shackled. I thought he said shot. I was like, what? What are you complaining about? He needs to be shackled, but yet you have a problem with the person who shackles him. Is it because it's Trump and you have TDS?
Oh, so why are you complaining? Maduro's bad. He needs to be shackled. Biden was right to put a bounty on him. Why are you complaining again?
Trump just acted on it. Exactly. What do you mean that you approve of Biden putting the bounty on his head, but not of Trump actually going out
and arrest
Think about oil and dollars. And I'm
So what? So fucking what? What it's about. Someone that's bad is in custody, and someone that's good is on their way to power.
tired of the president.
He just doesn't want to. Oil, dollars, oil. Trump, bad, orange.
Of the United States. He chooses corrupt.
Yeah, he just doesn't stop. It's amazing. I love these guys. They're incredible. They're really incredible. So let me show you. This is a picture of international law.
Yeah. Oh my god! The Sky Dorito!
I thought it was very important for you to understand. This is what international law looks like. It's when the sky starts losing pixels. All right, this is international law. Now, you might think that international law is a lot of words that were written on a lot of papers by a lot of retards. All right, a tribe in Africa gets a vote on international law. All right.
They can't even spell the word.
Right, but in defense of America, this is international law. The Sky Dorito,
yes,
has a lot more power, internationally speaking, than the tribe in Africa that uses bones and as nose rings. All right, and they vote to neuter us. All right. In my opinion, we should start a country, and our new started country will also get a vote in international law. And that will also be able to cuck Russia, right? Because international law worked so well for Russia, stopped Russia from invading Ukraine.
Oof.
All right, someone call the international law police. The sky.
You mean the United States?
He's missing pixels. All right, I'm tired of this garbage. This is international law. All right, I decided that it's fake and gay, and we will be moving forward with this doctrine in mind. International law. Where was international law when the Westfold fell? Exactly, bro. Our countries are being invaded. All right, shit's cringe. I'm not going to lie. Where was international law when it was literally bad for us? It's almost like international law is a way to cuck people, all right?
It's like the Geneva Convention. It only works if you follow it.
That the retard majority votes against. All right, this is what we call Nux Doctrine. Nux Doctrine, in a sentence, since a lot of people don't understand Nux Doctrine, it's I don't give a shit. Fuck you. That's
I don't give a shit. Fuck you. Damn.
See, I knew you would like. I knew you would get into listening a little bit.
I'm gonna call it a night though, because oh my gosh, I could do this all night, and I would just be reacting to this guy's videos. But
do you want me to send you his channel link in the?
Absolutely, send me his link to all the people that just had to endure that for the last 2 hours. If you actually endured it, you'd help my YouTube analytics really, really well if you gave me a like and a subscribe, because I have absolutely there are no bounds to the stupidity that I will commit on this channel. On that note, everybody have a good night. Bye.
Bye.